Here is the latest Higher Summits forecast brought to you by our friends at the Mount Washington Observatory.
Weather above treeline in the White Mountains is often wildly different than at our trailheads. Before you hike, check the Higher Summits forecast at mountwashington.org. Weather observers working at the nonprofit Mount Washington Observatory write this elevation-based forecast every morning and afternoon. Search and rescue teams, avalanche experts, and backcountry guides all rely on the Higher Summits forecast to anticipate weather conditions above treeline. You should too. Go to mountwashington.org or text forecast to 603-356-2137.
And here is your forecast for Friday, April 12th and Saturday, April 13th. Friday, in the clouds with rain, becoming a wintry mix late, ice accumulations of a trace to 1/10 of an inch from freezing rain. With a high in the mid-30s, winds south shifting southwest at 70 to 90 miles per hour, with gusts up to 120 miles per hour, decreasing to 50 to 70 miles per hour, with gusts up to 90 miles per hour. Wind chill will be 10 to 20 above. Friday night, in the clouds with a wintry mix, becoming snow showers early. Possible snow accumulations of a trace to 2 inches. Low will be upper 20s with winds southwest shifting west at 50 to 65 miles per hour, with gusts up to 85 miles per hour, decreasing to 30 to 45 miles per hour with gusts up to 60. Wind chill will be falling to 5 to 15 above. Saturday, in the clouds with snow showers likely, possible snow accumulations of a trace to 2 inches. High will be mid-20s with winds west shifting northwest at 30 to 45 miles per hour, with gusts up to 60 miles per hour, and the wind chill will be falling to 0 to 10 above.
Broadcasting from the Woodpeckers Studio in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Sounds Like a Search and Rescue podcast, where we discuss all things related to hiking and search and rescue in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Here are your hosts, Mike and Stomp.
All right, welcome to episode 147 of the Sounds Like Search and Rescue podcast. Tonight, while Mike is gallivanting over in Europe, we have very special guests, Eric Todd Sweet and Dave Shits in the Woods, special in-house guests. So they're here live at the Woodpeckers Studio, and we are going to be covering all the craziness that happened over the eclipse, an update on some modern art that's blowing up minds of hikers. We're going to talk a little bit about geocaching and what that means for the White Mountains and Leave No Trace. We've got a couple dad jokes for you, a special eclipse edition. And of course, later on in the show, we are visited by the great people of 48 Peaks ALzheimer's. So, I'm Stomp, and I'm Stomp. Let's get started.
This is Ben Pease from Hiking Buddies. We are a 501c3 nonprofit committed to reducing avoidable tragedies through education, impactful projects, and fostering a community of support. You can find out more at hikingbuddies.org. We wanted to say thank you to those who have supported our mission, and most importantly, say thanks to those who speak up, who ask questions, and who are willing to provide guidance and assistance on the trails when needed. You embody what it means to be a hiking buddy. And now, for all my newer hikers out there, here's this episode's Hiking Buddies Quick Tip.
Plan the hike taking in all ability and skill levels. Pre-planning will promote a successful hike. Communicate with team members and deploy a solid plan.
All right, we are rolling. I'm just going to roll it.
Run.
Welcome.
Hey.
All right, this is Stomp. I'm here with Dave Bleeps in the Woods and Eric Todd Sweet while Mike is, hanging out in Krakow, Europe.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he sent me
a crack house?
Krakow. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I thought he said crack house too.
Turned different. I was worried.
All right,
about it.
a little nervous.
I didn't know. I mean, he seemed like he had high energy. Kind of makes sense.
I knew there was a reason.
Yeah, it's a deep secret. He doesn't want to tell anybody, but he sent me a text from Krakow, so he's just hanging out over there and
good for him.
having a good time. He says it's 80 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, rub it in.
Yeah, so tonight, let's see. I don't even know what episode this is. 147, episode 147. We're just hanging in Thornton. We have in-house guests tonight, and we were talking about maybe just not recording this week, but we had a guest lined up, so we figured just make it happen. So we really appreciate you guys coming by.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's start off with the old apocalypse.
Yeah, let's get right to the notable hike and let's vote for me right now because Mike's not here and let's just get this done.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get right to it, right? So how was your apocalypse, Eric?
Awesome.
Yeah? What'd you end up doing?
Went to Christine Lake up in Stark, New Hampshire with Captain Chris, Lynn Sweezer, and a couple of friends and my buddy Bob.
Yeah.
And actually a lot of hikers end up showing up too. Pretty wild.
So where is this place exactly?
It's not far from Cabot. Not too far from Cabot. It's past Lancaster.
Okay.
So I got a dude from New Jersey hanging out with me for a week, and he's the one that suggested, I'm going to go to Christine Lake. Never heard of it. Drove up there. A lot of people, but absolutely beautiful. You could walk right across the ice.
It was crowded?
Enough. Crowded, yeah. It started off at maybe 20, 30, ended up at maybe over 100. So we even built a little snowman and gave it a little name, Little Lynn. named it after Lynn Sweezer. Put some glasses on it.
That's funny.
Yeah, she even put the sweatshirt. Did you see it?
I thought you guys were at Lonesome Lake for some reason.
No. Christine Lake.
Christine Lake.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, really remote, cool lake. Nice place. Be a cool place to swim.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Dave?
I was up in Vermont. I got the place in Vermont, just near St. Johnsbury, kind of around Littleton. It's right in the middle of it. Took the family up. I got one going in college, one coming out. So that was their first eclipse, and we all just hung out, some friends.
It's cool.
Yeah, we had a blast.
You must have got a better view than we did. I mean, we got 100. I think we got, but you were like in the middle more, right?
It was 100%. Not as long as I thought it was going to be, but it was really cool. Like it got quiet and that, and just the only thing we heard was the kids like, "Oh wow,"
Yeah.
But
cold too, though. Huh?
Yeah, it did. It got really
cold.
chilly.
Yeah, we went at Percy's Peaks. Actually, we could see Percy's Peaks from Christine Lake. So that's a Stark.
So if you're on North Percy, what direction do you look to see the lake? South, or do you know?
South. That would be correct. Yes, because you have to go a little further north, but not far.
It's like Nash Stream area.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I thought that area would be really cool for that.
Yeah, quiet out there, man. I love
for
Percy's
sure.
Peaks. Really remote place. A lot of people don't even know about it.
All right,
All
right, Dave, were you in the totality?
Yes.
Where you were? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this place was the Christine Lake.
Yep.
Cool. You left early, right, Eric? Super early?
We left Chris Went to Chris's house at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And we were there by like 8:30. Picked up Bob. And we just wanted to get there early, have some coffees, and hang out just in case. And luckily we did, because there was almost no parking an hour later. That was it. It was already packed.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
No. We got home. It took us 3.5 hours to get home.
Yeah.
And then Bob left at 2:30 in the morning to go to work back in Massachusetts. He goes, you wouldn't believe this backed up traffic on the Franconia Ridge, and he sent me a picture, miles of cars.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, we ducked it. Usually it's about a little over 2 hours from the cabin back home.
Yeah.
And my son went down 93, and I'm like, sucker, I'm going to cut through.
Yeah,
I
we
did the
didn't do
dad
that.
thing. I'm like, I know how to get to
Yeah,
91.
yeah, that's what we did.
And they directed me right downtown St. Johnsbury,
Oh, really?
and I lived there for an hour. And I was like, this did not work. He beat us home by over an hour and a half.
Come on. We went through Franconia and then went on the back way of 116, popped out near, take a left, and then you're going by the hostel. So, and it was still backed up.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. You couldn't.
You went 93, 91 to 89, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, my day started at Mad River Coffee at like 8:30. Met Mike Latavia, another hiker, local guy. He's a listener. We chatted for a bit, and then I left. That place was mobbed.
Oh, I would imagine.
It's like 8:30. It was absolutely mobbed.
Yeah.
And driving north to Lincoln, because I go up over Lost River to get to North Haverhill for PT. I was flowing with traffic, just moving. But on the way back, I got out early, thankfully, and I could not believe the amount of cars coming up Lost River.
Yeah.
I don't even know where they were going. Where were they going?
They would find in any open spot over water, or if there's any place. Because when I left, I was doing the same thing, going along like suckers. And then I was in it like karma.
Serious. Yeah,
But
by
it
the
was
time I got out back to 93, it was backed out to, from Lincoln. I mean, the notch, forget the notch. It backed down all the way to like exit 30, exit 29, just standstill.
Well,
I've never seen anything like it.
I did the Franconia Ridge today, but I also did it Sunday with a friend.
Yeah.
And Sunday, when you go home, you have to go up, north a little bit, turn around at the tramway. You never see anybody going north. Hey, there was a line of cars already going north on Sunday. All mass plates. I'm like, you're going to be kidding me.
Well, I will say, for the amount of mass plates, there weren't that many dicks on the road.
No,
I was stunned. Everybody was like, I originally don't.
Yeah, same.
I buried my past, but I was there too for a while. But like nobody was weaving in and out. People were letting me go. I was like, I'm confused. Maybe it is the apocalypse. It's a sign. People were being nice. They had mass plates. They let me in. I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah. We usually run you over.
Yeah.
But bandwidth too. I was trying to post some stuff on the way back, and there was just like no service. There was just so many people using the local service for the internet and whatever.
I would love to see Google Maps like trajectory or usage like as soon as it was over. Everybody trying to find a back road.
Everybody was doing the same thing
because it was like turn left, turn right, turn. You could see everybody like.
So I did hear rumors that it took some people like 12 hours to get from Lancaster down to Nashua.
Wow.
Yeah, some people were coming in at like 4 a.m.
I'm in that area, and we left
crazy
4:30 and got home at 9.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Well, Lynn was supposed to go home. She ended up sleeping over. She's like, forget it. I'm like, you can't go home right now. No way.
It's kind of like the AT bubble.
Yeah.
If you were ahead of it, you got through.
Yeah.
If you were in the bubble, you were in the bubble.
We would have got through.
And you just suffered along with everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So back to the temperature change. I'd noticed that too. It was stunning. So I was just right out here in front of the studio here, and sitting on these awesome chairs you guys are in now.
That's a lawn chairs.
They still smell like the eclipse.
I know. It's just like the eclipse.
It's got that eclipse smell.
You notice I gave you the better one though. Yeah. It's a little more cozy. That's
only the best.
Say.
Only the best for guests
I don't
here.
think my legs reached that.
Both our legs are dangling up. We got a little height
like funny chairs.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed, we're sort of renovating a whole bunch of stuff. So I ended up tossing some chairs I needed. So oops.
Are you a psychiatrist too? Because I'm looking at that going, what do you got the bed there for?
It started when
I lay down and tell you my problems.
It started when I was 6.
You want me to stop?
And it hasn't stopped.
You too, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's quite the quilt, isn't it?
That's why I was late. I was home crying by myself. So now I can lay down on the couch over here. I can tell you my problems.
Oh man, that might take too long. I don't know. We only have 2 hours, so I don't know. But the other thing I noticed after the fact was the fact that all the animals were quiet. Did you guys notice that?
Yes, everything. Yeah, it was crazy, especially when it got cold.
Absolute silence.
And it was only, obviously, we all know. But even Chris pointed this out.
Yep.
The second the sun popped back out, everything was bright. Immediately.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy.
You could hear them almost start to settle down at night. Like, and then that first bird you hear in the morning at first light came up, and like he's going to be all screwed up in about 3 hours. He's going to be like, what?
All the plants are going to die again. It's going to be tough.
You're right.
Yeah, so I was listening. What the hell is that? Hold on a sec.
Oh, is this?
Can I have this dance, Dave?
Is it built-in karaoke? Now
I'll edit that out.
That was the hiking buddies thing, right? There's the
yeah,
British guy now that took. See, I'm a Sweezer, like a Swiftie, like a Sweezy. Like she did the bumper before, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I was a Sweezy. I liked her when she did
a Swifter.
the hiking.
Remember Lynn was doing the hiking buddies ad on this thing?
Oh yes,
so
yes,
she was doing the tips, but we canned her. Yeah, she's fired.
Oh, see, I'm a Sweezy. I don't know. That was tough. I liked her better than the British guy. I don't know. No offense, British guy.
It'll grow on you. Yeah. So Andy Barlow, right?
He's
Andy,
awesome.
He's
What a
good guy.
sweetheart. What a guy.
Yeah, that was a fun session actually. He came over and just laid down a bunch of that stuff, and we were laughing pretty hard for a while.
Yeah. I see him on the trails once in a while. Yeah. Absolute gentleman.
Good guy.
Yeah.
But sorry about that. So basically, that's what you're looking at behind me here is the monitor and all the tracks I use for the podcast, and I forgot to shut one off. So
Whoops.
But anyway, before that thing chimed in, I saw this story today. You guys are going to love this. This is a post-eclipse faux pas. So a Mexican station, it's a news station, they were trying to air a video of the eclipse. And by accident, they aired a video of a pair of testicles instead of the eclipse.
Okay.
I swear to God, this is on TMZ.
What's the Spanish word for eclipse? Is it Tesclipste? Great ball in the sky.
Now we got to find out.
I couldn't believe it. So yeah, that happened. So that's a pretty big mistake. So seconds later, the testes dropped into frame, blocking the light,
Literally, right?
and giving audiences a brief but very up close look at someone's family jewels. So you could see the visible shock on the faces of two of the anchors. How funny is that?
And everybody at once turned their heads and coughed, right?
So what's next on the apocalypse thing here? I read that this spring and summer we're going to be hit by 1 trillion cicadas. You know those bugs, those beetles that come out every several years. Cicadas, yeah.
Cicadas, I think they're called.
Are they cicadas?
Cicadas, yeah.
Cicada. Did you hear the story?
No.
So there are several
It's too tight,
species.
right? Go ahead.
There are
Sorry,
several.
Yeah, okay.
From what I understand, that unfortunately this year, all of these several species are lining up to come out at the same time. So the Midwest, upper Midwest are going to have 1 trillion of these things roaming around.
That's a lot.
Isn't that wild?
It's like a bug's life.
Wow.
Did they figure out there's more of them?
If the murder hornets came out and they fought.
No.
Oh,
You remember that? The murder hornets? Like, could you come up with a better name than murder hornets?
I'm scared.
It's crazy.
So if there's it's southern though, right? Down where there's testicles in the sky, not up here, right?
You think that's what's...
Literally.
I don't know, but yeah, that's coming up next.
Is this a podcast or a comedy show?
Yeah,
we could,
It's tough without the laugh track. I don't know if we're killing it or if it's going to be a 3 minute and everyone's like, next week.
Next.
When's Mike coming back?
Mike coming back.
I don't know. Hopefully he's not flying Boeing, that's for sure.
Oh, God.
We'll see what happens. You guys could get a job with me here. But so yeah, what's next on the plague calendar? This is the end of the world or what? So we've got some bugs, we got the apocalypse, the eclipse, whatever. I don't know. It's been interesting. And then of course there's the modern art update. Have you been following this?
No.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. There's a state park in Arkansas that's putting up modern art, and they're just basically like 5-6 foot tall blobs, blue-green blobs, and the hikers are in uproar. They want these things gone. And there's a petition now that's up to say like 3,000, 4,000 people that signed it that want to get rid of these things. So
really?
I put a poll up saying we should purchase one of these things and see if we can put it somewhere.
Put it on Mount Washington. There's plenty of stuff up there.
Right next to the
No one will notice.
It was fight over who owns it.
Yeah.
I was thinking right on the Bond Cliff perch, right on the cliff itself.
That's perfect.
Yeah, right there.
People will dig it. Yeah, there'll be no complaints. No way. Nobody complains about anything anyway.
So, dude, I put this up on the Slasher Instagram, and one listener said, put it in Eric Todd's cabin.
Will it fit?
I doubt it. Well,
Probably
maybe
not.
outside.
Yeah, put it outside. It'd be an ornament.
I don't know. What do
Throw
you
some
think?
Christmas lights around.
Well, I was thinking we'd get in touch with Larry the Log And maybe you can carry it. It'd be Larry the Blob. And he just carries that thing everywhere.
He's
And
already
I don't
got
know.
a shoulder.
Or you could just move it to a summit a month. We have to go find it.
That's
and you
an
get
idea.
you get a punch
Where's the
card,
blob?
kind of like Santa's Village, where you find all the elves.
You get like a free coffee at Mad River if you find it before anybody
That's what I'm
else.
thinking.
Right?
You
Make
get a
game
special
out of it.
hat.
Yeah.
Or we just put it in the back of your truck and you just tool around with it, so we know it's you whenever we go by. Like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, as if the truck isn't obvious enough. You drove by me one morning, right? When
We saw the plate, and we were trying to get you to come out. We were going to Hitchcock.
Yeah. That's funny. So anyway, that's going on. So, here's another one. How about Hooks It? Hooks It Rest Stop. Mike would love that.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah. It definitely.
Which side though?
Probably
in each.
northbound.
Can you
right?
imagine how busy that place must have been yesterday?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Just the liquor sales, the gas sales.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
I felt the worst thing. I just feel so bad for those porta potties in the rest areas up there. I mean, just
Like
the
the
abuse
privies?
they must have seen in the last 24 hours.
For real.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, there were no rescues or anything like that. No.
No.
Nothing
Quiet.
happened.
That's
Very
huge.
quiet. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, especially with the snow. I get the impression that the concern of people hiking to try to see it was probably diminished. It just seemed like they stayed in their cars and
It's because
were
of the
happy.
conditions. It's like I was
the
out today.
snow
It's,
helped.
it's horrifying. It's
Yeah.
so wet and so sloppy.
I figured AAA probably would have been busier with the towings out of the mud.
Yeah, I didn't see any broken cars. I didn't see anything. Literally, just a bunch of cars.
Saw a ton on the highway, but
Yeah.
statistically, that's going to happen because you have that many people moving.
Yeah, we did see a lot of cars pulled over to take a leak.
Yeah, there's
a lot
that.
of people doing that. Yeah,
I did see a guy
Saw a lot.
vomit. That was the highlight. That was,
that's excitement.
All right, so
Have we brought the show down enough yet? Or are we going to keep going?
Yeah, we're gonna
we
keep
done.
on.
All right, all right.
You want us to leave?
we're gonna bury this. Are you guys familiar with geocaching?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
what's your understanding of it?
You go out and you actually you download a map on your phone.
Okay,
And then you go out and you find a little prize and it's buried under a stick, rock, or something like that. And usually you got to sign it and there's a little trinket in there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. I did it years ago.
so take something, leave something.
Yeah,
that type of
yeah,
thing.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up is when I hiked Carr Mountain from the north, halfway up, maybe like a mile and a half up, there was literally it was like the hood of a 1930s, 1940s automobile. And I'm like walking up to this thing, like, what the hell is this thing? It's like literally a hood, but it was standing upright, and it was, I forget what color, maybe purple. At first I was thinking it was one of these modern art pieces, but then on the back of it, it was a black box like 2 inches by 3 inches, and it said official geocache.
Yeah. Did you sign?
So it was no, it's not something I've seen before, because I've seen the box that it's like a artillery box or pillbox
Ammo
or whatever.
boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually there's a stamp in there as well. You can stamp, stamp your thing. You can do that as well. Like you have a little geocaching book too.
Yeah.
That you even, say, hey, I was here.
Like
or
a
you say-
passport.
Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's actually fun. It gets you out.
My dad's into it. My dad he's a geocache machine.
Geocache.
He's out there.
Well, after seeing that thing, I was sort of curious about it. So I know the episode, I forget what episode it was, but we've talked about this way back in the past. And the question is, where is it allowed? So the idea of a geocache leaving trash or trinkets in the woods sort of goes against leave no trace, right?
Right.
So what's the deal with that?
I don't think there's any. I've found them everywhere.
Even in the, I guess you cannot do it in the wilderness zones or
I didn't know
alpine
that.
zones.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of makes
Yeah.
sense.
According to the White Mountain National Forest.
Actually, some of them are really, really hard to find too.
Really?
Yeah, they'll be buried under rocks and trees and roots and stumps, and it's like, wow, man. So yeah, I've seen them. Even I did it years ago. What's that forest? With the pair of stairs that go all the way up. Madame Cherie's forest.
Madame Cherie's, yeah.
We went out there and did a couple of geocaching stunts out there. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Dave, are you familiar with any locations of these things?
Not up north. I know down usually the flats. You have the mall walkers, shall we say? They're like the outdoor mall walkers.
You're not going to put them on elevation.
With their tracksuits and sketchers, and they're out there chilling.
Hike up Mount Washington?
Yeah, well,
I don't think
that's
so.
what I'm saying. I would assume that a lot of these, even in the White Mountain National Forest, they would kind of be more down low, not big elevation.
Yeah.
Would be my guess, but I'm learning a lot today. So I don't know.
Well, I've definitely found some in the White Mountain National Forest. Mr. Stomp and I found one at the beginning of the East Pond Loop. When you're heading up maybe like a 10th of a mile, there's the junction. You can go left to Little East Pond or straight up towards the larger East Pond. To the right, There's like an old ancient 1800s foundation, and there was one in there.
That was the old mill.
Was it the old mill? Yeah, is that the history there?
Let's dive into some White Mountains history, shall we?
That's what they used to do. They scraped the East Pond. They used to scrape the history lesson.
Okay, here we go.
Scraped. I found it last time when I was doing middle scour. They used to scrape. There was a guy who was a lumber baron. It was his son that wound up setting up the mill, and they used to scrape East Pond for the algae on the bottom, and it had the diatomaceous earth, and they would break it down, and a lot of people assumed he was using it to make better paper products.
Yeah.
And he ran it for about 2 years, never made any money, and no one could understand why he kept doing it. But he had this massive mill. That's what that foundation is. And if you follow it, the pipes go up to East Pond, and they would drain, but they would scrape it, and they would run it down, filter it through, get that down, break it down, and they believed he was using it for the paper.
Huh.
But he never made any money, and then it just kind of went bankrupt, and he left it, and then it just fell apart.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I love stuff like that, though.
Oh, it's amazing.
Because I went out to 118 the other day with a friend of mine, with BK Noonan, a really good dude, and we checked out some of the old CCC camps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that. CCC?
Yeah, they used to like...
Is that what
it was during
company?
No.
My grandfather used to like come here and do it years ago.
It was during the Depression, I think, when they would actually, the government, to put people to work, and to help them along, they would have these different projects. You build a lot of camps, a lot of cabins, a lot of things. You find them, a lot of them, trails and stuff.
Yeah. Actually, there's an old chimney back there. There's a couple of them. There's an old car buried in the, just literally, just sunk right down in the mud.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah, I like stuff like that. Just check it out. Like Camp 24, if you ever go to the Hancocks, stay on your Cedar Brook Trail, because you can pop out on the east side of the what do you call it, Lincoln Woods. But before you take that left, it's called Camp 24. You can see remnants of an old logging camp back there still. Little wood stoves and all kind of metal pots and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, stuff's all over the place. It's amazing.
It is. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it makes
the whole Tripoli area too, the Livermore. The town of Livermore is down there with the grist mill. And all that stuff's down there too. You can follow those carriage roads all the way into Woodstock.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, incredible. Huh. All right, so there we go. So there's some leave no trace tension there, but
the thought
it exists.
What I was saying is, like, what is the 500 highest is really just like geocaching at a high level, because everyone's chasing those canisters. I mean, I know I was thinking about that's what that's
true.
It's just geocaching at kind of a higher level.
Yeah, I thought the same as well, but for what purpose too? You're just literally just logging the date and your name. It's sort of funny.
Yeah,
I'm such a canister whore, though. I gotta find it. I don't sign them, but I gotta find them.
Did you find the one on White Wall Slide? That's a hard one to find. That was a hard one.
I haven't been up
and
that
trying
one
to and trying to get back to find the slide was not easy.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do that one and then come out on the fire road.
The fire road?
There's a secret fire road that no one knows about. Shh.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. Yeah.
No, if you park at what's the Zealand?
Yeah, that's what we did.
Zealand Trail. I just pop the brook and follow the fire road. You can kind of bushwhack through the birch glades.
Oh. Because we just went right up Ethan Pond Trail, took a left and went right up the slide.
Oh, okay.
And then came back down and then went up Zealand Trail, which just goes straight up. And then you hit Z Cliff, and then you go back out, and then it's like a loop. So you can go from
That's a pretty rugged loop.
It's a good loop, man. Yeah, it's a good loop. But I don't know if you knew that.
Z Cliff is a treat to come down.
Z Cliff is very steep, and you got to cross the river. Yeah, that's a cool trail, man, and that's beautiful in the fall. Beautiful.
It's a quick drop.
It's
Don't go in the rain.
No, we did. That was so horrible. We had to cross the
down
river.
Z Cliff?
Well, yeah.
In the rain?
Yeah, it was horrible, man. And then we had to cross the river. It was like April.
Yeah.
We had to take our shoes off and roll our pants up. Talk about instant numb feet and legs.
Yeah.
Instant.
Oh yeah.
Then it poured.
I can imagine.
Oh, it was horrible.
And then you come back up.
We were gonna go to the White Wall Slide. We just took a left and went back on Ethan Pond Trail, and you end up back all the way. So it's just a big loop. Then it goes back to Zealand. Yeah. Oh, it poured.
It's wild.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Vaucluse Gear. Does your backpack not provide enough ventilation? Does your back sweat too much when backpacking? As you know, sweat can be extremely uncomfortable on the trails. Plus, sweat is a serious risk factor in both hot and cold climates. As your clothes get wet, your core temperature can dramatically fluctuate. This can result in hypothermia, heat exhaustion, and dehydration. Let's not forget, very uncomfortable. Today is your lucky day because we have good news at Slasher for you. There's a piece of gear that solves the sweat and ventilation problem, making your backpack more comfortable. Vaucluse Gear's ultralight backpack ventilation frame This ultralight frame is a backpack accessory that easily installs in your favorite pack, size 15 liters to 45 liters, and creates a ventilating airflow gap between you and your pack. It's also ultralight, weighing around 3 ounces. That's equivalent to a pair of wool socks. Whether hiking in hot or cold temps, the ultralight backpack ventilation frame from Vaucluse Gear is a real game changer regarding airflow and ventilation. Visit VaucluseGear.com to order an ultralight ventilation frame today. Use promo code SLASHER, SLASR, to enjoy a $5 discount. Plus, let them know that Mike and Stomp sent you.
We all know that hiking a mountain can be hard at times. So here's a corny dad joke to help you get over it. Ba-dum-bum.
All right, well, moving on, I guess. I got a couple dad jokes. I know Mike usually does dad jokes, but I sort of dole these out to both you guys, but I don't know. I can do them if you guys don't have access to them.
I'm ready. I practiced.
You're ready? Okay, so this is
the frog I found today. I was working it out.
This is the Eclipse edition of the dad joke section. So here's the first one. Why should students not get out of class to see the eclipse?
I don't know.
They need to protect their pupils.
Oh, wow. That's a dad joke.
Yeah.
That is a dad joke.
Bad one, yeah.
That's a testicle in the sky.
yeah, that sure is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Low-hanging fruit.
Depends on the weather. It's a humidity thing.
All right. What you got?
I tried to look at the eclipse through a colander, but it only strained my eyes. I killed it.
That was good. So I like that one. I'm gonna use
I wish I wrote it myself.
Can you see that?
Where is it here?
Can you see it? Oh, it's right here. You see that?
With all the rental damage phone eclipse, someone made an online resource. It's a site for sore eyes. Oh my god, that is so lame.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the epitome of a dad joke.
Yeah. So those are going out to Mike, wherever you are. So, all right, cool. Dad jokes are over.
Hey, what's that sound? It must be time for the pop culture segment with Mike and Stomp.
Anything good happening with pop culture? I had listed this game that I really don't want to talk about, but I'll provide the link. It's called Summit, the board game. It's actually like a Dungeons and Dragons type of role-playing game, but it's all mountaineering and climbing. And it's as in-depth and intense as like Dungeons and Dragons. It's insane. But I really can't do it justice, so I'll just give you the link there. Mrs. Stomp is chomping at the bit. Tonight is what, Tuesday? Yeah, tonight's Tuesday. Recording this early this week, and she's waiting for 6:30. They're releasing the new Joker trailer for the Joker Part 2 with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix, so that should be pretty wild.
Wow, I like him.
Yeah, the first one?
Yeah, the first one was great.
That dude can act, man. I like him.
Hell yeah.
He's done a lot of different roles. He kills it. He's good.
Oh my God, is he good?
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
So that's coming out soon. And I don't know, you guys been watching anything? I know Eric, you've been out just hiking, right? You don't have time for entertainment.
That TV
like
thing doesn't. No, I do at night though. I chill out at night. Yeah, no, I do. You know what? I love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, you've been watching?
Yeah, I'm a Seinfeld guy, so I've been watching. Yeah. So I've been getting into
that's classic. I've not seen that yet, but
no?
I hear it's great.
Yeah, and of course I've already seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, the whole thing.
Seen that. Yeah, everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
But
You see the new series, The House of Dragon?
I haven't, but actually Chris said for me to watch that. He said it was pretty good. Him and Tracy have been watching that.
I'm the one guy who
they
hasn't
watched
seen
it.
it yet.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome, man. You got to give it a little bit. You get hooked. Yeah, it's
You know
good.
what? I just literally yesterday, Eric, I was watching Hard Home and Battle of the Bastards. Remember those 2 episodes where there's just huge battles with the White Walkers?
Yes.
And
I know. Arya Stark. That's my. Oh, she's.
Oh man,
can you believe
Yeah,
it?
do you remember that one episode where I forget the guy's name? Ramsey Bolton.
Ramsey.
At the end, the dogs.
he got his own dogs. Got him.
See, now I don't have to watch it. Now I know.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, you're good.
We
Now it's ruined.
it.
Dogs. Yeah.
Just take the mic off, go home. You're all set. You know, we don't. Yeah.
Good night, guys.
nice meeting you, Dave.
So yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
I just finished Dark a little while ago. I think it was.
What is that?
The German like science sci-fi thing about time travel. And
Really?
It's pretty wild.
Dark?
Yeah, it's basically like they find these bodies and then they like it builds around that, and it's like this whole group of people that interact. It's hard not to give it away through the explanation.
Well, we already screwed it up for you. So
Yeah, there's no dogs in this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no dog.
You can blow it for us.
No.
All right.
So in the end, what happened? No, it's really cool. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just watch like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and it's one of those like you get to the end of it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I see where this is going. The next one, you're like, no, like wait, how, what? And then at the end, your mind's just blown.
Oh yeah, like
it's
that.
really good. And like for days, you're walking around like 6 miles off trail, like. Oh crap! You're thinking about it, and you just keep walking.
No
like,
way.
Oh wait, where am I? And it's one of those. I really
Check
enjoyed
out.
it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are you ready for Slasher's Ear Review?
That's cool. Hey, I have a couple gear things that I found. Just the other day, I was down at Eddie Bauer, down at Tilton.
Yeah.
And I saw this on one of the racks, actually.
Looks like a hand warmer.
Check this out. It's
razor?
It's a rechargeable dual arc lighter with a cob light. So the light there is the yellowish part, but if you look at the very, very top here, it's a dual arc, so it's electric. It's a arc of electricity.
Yeah.
That you can stick
Like a
on
taser.
kindling.
Looks like a taser.
Pretty much.
So I can tase one of my friends with that thing?
Low power.
That's pretty cool.
I'm thinking it's a terrible idea to have in my pocket. I called 911 today.
Well, yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, did you really?
They're like, hello, what's your emergency? I'm like,
I don't know, man.
why are my testicles talking to me? It's a theme tonight, everyone. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, he's got something about testicles, this guy.
But no, it's like, and I'm like, sorry, it's no emergency. It's a pocket. Like that, I don't need, I'd be down and out.
Could you imagine zapping your testicles with that
No,
thing?
that'd
That
be
would hurt.
a whole brush fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the rated current is 300 milliamps. The light is 140 lumens, which is not
It's
too bad.
too bad, no.
But and it's USB chargeable, so it's a convenient on-the-go essential for nights spent around the campfire. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't better than matches, that's for sure.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So I saw that, and then I saw this one. You guys might get a kick out of this second one. It's called Skunky Wipes. You ever heard of the Skunky
No,
Wipes?
I can
Have not.
imagine what that's for.
All right, so it might be a good thing for backpackers and through hikers. Let me open it up here for us.
I'm as scared as I am curious.
Yeah, me too. Skunky wipes.
Yeah, and depends which end.
I've had
Is it all
swamp
over?
ass,
Like,
but
is
not
it-
skunky.
right?
You know?
Skunky Wipes. There we go. Disposable rinse-free bathing sponge wipes.
Bathing sponge wipes.
So it-
just add water.
It lathers up. You add water, it lathers up, and then you scrub and dry with no sticky residue.
Cleans without a shower, just add water.
Yeah.
Lather, scrubs, and dry. Wow, okay.
So it's like
That's pretty
literally like just a little clean wipe.
You know what I like about it? It's light because it probably weighs
It's
nothing. There's
super
no water,
light.
so you can
Yeah.
backpack it because just hit it with a can, a little bit, or by the river or whatever, and you're good to go.
Disposable's a good call. I don't know how you'd reuse
Or
it.
don't carry it and jump
Oh,
in the river and
totally.
bring some soap, and you do the same thing. But
I like
So
the
it-
different categories they list too.
it's got some,
Gym.
So check it out. Smell funky? Get skunky. 60-second shower. Just add water. Rinse-free bath sponges. So, yeah, there we go.
It says
Skunky.
gym, elder
Skunky.
care, kids, and more. What's the more? That's what's got me. It's like, okay, I've gone through the list of things I would watch.
It's a product, so they want to put as much crap as they can on the sticker to catch your eye.
Right.
What else you got to say?
Your car, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't want to know.
Nope.
But,
We're going to stop right there.
All right, you guys mind if I do an advertiser here? I got to blast through these. So, all right, first one. Actually, you guys might want to comment on this. So, we do have the 48 Peaks folks coming in a little later for a quick little interview. But 48 Peaks ALzheimer's. Use your passion for hiking to help end Alzheimer's. In one collective effort, 400-plus hikers will climb New Hampshire's 4,000 footers or create their own challenge to support the mission of the Alzheimer's Association. The annual hiker celebration will take place Saturday, June 8th at Reckless Brewing Company in Bethlehem with raffles, food, and an amazing community. Hike that weekend or any day you want. No fundraising minimum is required, but those who raise $100 will receive this year's performance-grade purple T-shirt. So let's turn the White Mountains purple to end Alzheimer's. Visit alts.org. right/48 Peaks to learn more. You guys joining this?
I'm actually on Lynn's team. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have Peak ALz picked out and all that?
I don't know. Not sure yet. She'll tell me.
She'll tell
Yeah, just whatever you want me. You know me. I don't care. Just what do you want me to hike? That's how I roll.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I never choose anything.
I didn't get an invite again this year.
Well,
so
because you talk about testicles a lot, so
well,
they probably don't want you
who wants to
around.
hike with a guy who's Dave shits in the woods? I mean,
Yeah.
but I got skunky wipes.
Yeah. So you're allowed.
I'm getting back in the game.
You're back in. Yeah. Join our team. I'll tell Lynn.
I would
I'll tell
consider
Lynn.
it.
He's got
Find the
skunky
date.
wipes.
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Yeah.
He's okay. He checks out.
You imagine you and I hiking together?
I can now.
It's gonna be fun.
I
like this.
can
Yeah.
imagine that.
Yeah.
I think it would be.
Yeah,
I think
this
we'd be
like-
like some kind of super group, like
For real.
You know, like we could be more opposites in general, but I think we'd kill it.
For real.
on the trail or
Yeah.
off the trail.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw a comparison with like a super group that would.
Don't say Milli
analogous
Vanilli.
to you guys.
No,
because they didn't even sing.
No,
so
that's fake. We're not. We're real. This is the real thing right here.
It could be the Crosby, Stills, and no Nash girl.
and Young.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's too funny. All right, so there you go. You're invited. I won't be doing anything that day. I have to do the music at the event at Reckless.
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
have to catch up on the dates and that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
for real,
I
yeah.
can, even if I just walk behind you guys. I don't even have to be in the group. Just don't even tell. I'll just kind of walk
You
behind.
can carry
like,
my backpack if you want. You know, I'm going to be busy shaking hands, saying hi to
there you
everybody.
go, right.
Doing a headstand. I got. Whatever.
I could be like his helper, like
Well,
those,
Lynn
like his
couldn't make it
agent.
last year. She got hurt, so I jumped in. You know,
That's right.
Yeah.
Last year was a wild year. It was
Yeah.
a busy summer.
Very.
The whole Bretton Woods thing. No, yeah, that event there.
Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a lot.
Wow.
Sure was.
All right. Well, let's see what else we have. So, coffee donations. You can donate to the podcast if you want to help us pay the bills. We have a couple this week. Carrie Burrell donated 3 coffees, and then Jen Kunze, one or the other, donated 5 coffees. And this person is going to be coming on one of the
She's
future
nice.
episodes. Have you met her?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a chef in Antarctica, Dave. I don't know
wow.
if you know this.
I'm just trying to get past who he doesn't know. Like we just like see that squirrel out there? I know him.
Honestly,
that's
it's a-
Rocky. That's Red over there. That guy's Red. Yeah, he's got a nut allergy, which is horrible. For a squirrel, but
But he's a good guy.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, he's a good guy. But
Yeah.
So we'll
So,
talk
yeah.
on our hike when we go on a.
Yeah.
So when she's out in Antarctica, so she's a chef, she cooks out there, but she's also a geocacher too. So maybe we can have her
That's
chat
cool.
about that. So
Cool.
Thank you, Jen, and thank you, Carrie. It's super, super cool. And we have another quick plug here. So CS Coffee. Our podcast is supported by CS Instant Coffee, makers of premium compostable coffee. It's straightforward and eco-friendly, perfect for anyone who loves the outdoors as much as we do. Great for backpacking, day hiking, and camping. And let's see, you can contact them at info@csinstant.coffee or visit the website at www.csinstant.coffee. I knew we should have gone left back there.
Stomp, don't worry. I know it's this way. I've got a feeling in my gut.
Are you sure you're not about to have a bowel emergency?
Totally. We got this.
But I just blew out my hip. Fell down that gully with my 40-year-old microspikes.
Suck it up, Stomp. It's 4 p.m. We're at 3,500 feet. We got 9 miles back to the parking lot. Your leg may be broken. We got no cell connection, and we can't feel our fingers. But we're finishing all of my list tonight. By the way, I need some water. I'm empty.
I would if I could see what I'm doing, but my headlamp batteries are dead.
You gotta be kidding me. What a chump. This is the last time I hike with you.
Ha, whatever, mister. Do you know me? I have a podcast.
Whatever.
Let's find out what Mike and Stomp have been hiking.
Recent hikes. Anybody? Who's first? Dave? Eric?
How
Anybody?
recent?
I don't get out much.
Yeah,
so.
well, actually, why don't you talk about what you...
I just got back too. I was just up the road at Cone Mountain today.
Were you?
Yeah. So I was going to do Cone, and then I went up Cone Mountain. So
Yeah.
it goes. I parked at the Welsh Dickey, and then I just basically instead of going up either trail, you just stay on the bike path, and then you hit the ledges, and you kind of arc your way around the ledges. Split a couple ledges I didn't need to. Came back down, followed that up and around. Big 6-foot cairn at the top. Yeah. Gorgeous view. Really gorgeous view.
Yeah, it's an amazing... Have you hiked that one, Eric?
I think on like he was saying, I think I did that years ago with Steve and Gwen. Pretty sure. I did,
probably.
on a bushwhack.
Yeah.
Because we did bushwhack. We even went to from Welch Dickey. Is it Hogback?
Yes.
Yeah,
Off
Hogback.
of-
The other side, yeah.
Off of.
Did you get to it from?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It was so many years ago. And
Yeah.
actually, we got to Tecumseh as well.
Yeah, Grand Traverse, basically.
It probably was. I mean, you're talking 7 or 8 years ago when we used to do all those crazy things.
I gotta say that that whole stretch from Tecumseh, Foss, Green Mountain, all the way down to Welch Dickey, and then Hazelton Brook is just to the east. There's so much in and around there. It's unbelievable.
The woods are
it's
beautiful.
really untapped.
I was just going to say
The
that.
woods are beautiful.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
and true, because you don't see you won't see anybody out there.
You won't see anybody but bear. Last
No,
time I was
true.
out there trying
Funny
to do Hazelton,
story.
I was like,
Funny. Oh, you got a
yeah.
story?
Oh, you got a story?
Well, I was sitting on the top of Cone by myself, bushwhacked up,
Sitting on the
because
top of
nobody goes
Cone,
up
huh?
there. Yeah, no, not quite on the Cone.
I was going to say, it just sounds a little weird. Okay, yeah. It's better. I really like Dave. Dave,
better,
you and I gotta
better
hang out.
acoustics.
Yeah,
if you use a cone.
yeah.
But so I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear, great job, buddy. And I'm like, that does not match up with my conscience. That's not my conscience's voice. And he never calls me buddy. So I'm like, shit, someone's up here. I'm like, who is up here? And sure enough, I could hear someone coming. So I just yelled. I'm like, hey, I'm up on the summit, heads up. And a guy came out. We started talking and that. And I was
Warning.
like, just wanted to give you a heads up, because when you're out bushwhacking,
Yeah.
the two worst things are either, finding somebody or being found.
Yeah,
You know?
being found. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, so that threw me.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
gorgeous area. And then I was trying to go down to, now I gotta look this up because I'll say it wrong. But it is there's another peak that's a little further out that I wanted to, but I ran out of time.
What if it's the one I hit? I'm
It
curious.
was
Brown ash swamp
it
ass.
is brown ash swamp, not brown
Never
swamp
heard of
ass.
that. Not swamp ass.
Because that is actually on another hiking list. If I could mention that,
For New Hampshire?
there is a New Hampshire hiking list that.
Yes.
It is the
Plug
New
away.
Hampshire Inappropriate 69, and you may not have heard of it, but it's names like that are technically inappropriate.
I'm really surprised. I haven't heard of that.
And it comes with a patch.
Yeah, really?
That a friend of mine, Nicole Wilson, shout out to her. She made the patch and everything. And they are names that they can go in certain categories. I got to keep it clean because I know there's a smaller person that hikes that's younger, and I don't want to be too offensive.
I'll label this one explicit. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we already kind of Stomp already threw us under the bus with the
all the
Mexican
testicle talk,
the
we're
Mexican
already,
eclipse, as we say.
yeah.
Is that a testicle?
Oh, God.
I don't know who I'd probably everybody.
Mike's
but
definitely firing me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm history.
it would be good sailing equipment next
You
week.
and I are
Keep
taking
an eye
over.
out.
No, you and I are taking over this a bit. Yeah, we just got to get rid of Stomp.
Like Ren and
It's all
Stimpy.
set. Yeah.
So it's going to go down. But there is, if it's the New Hampshire Inappropriate 69 is the list. It comes with a patch. It is a legitimate hiking list. Wow. So yes, it's funny. Running into a couple roadblocks with property.
Yeah.
So some of the names people do, but they are out there as things
private.
like, Tumble Down Dick, Mount Tug.
Dude, that's hilarious.
cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are on there. The Hancocks
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
White Faces.
Welch Dickey. Gotta be.
The Dicky Nacho is in today.
Yeah.
So there's
What else?
the whole list is out there. I don't want to go through the whole list.
Yeah.
There is an Instagram account, the New Hampshire Inappropriate 69. The Facebook account, you need to request permission because we don't want any creepers. We just want hikers. So if you are a legitimate hiker, and it should be said that these are legitimate hikes, there is a level of skill that is required. So it is fun, but there's a lot of very difficult mountains on this to hike.
Oh, all right.
So it is, if you earn the patch and if you're first, you might get something special,
That's a great idea. It's really funny.
You just don't want to finish too early. That's all I'm saying.
That was good.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So whoever the first finisher is, you got a hat and a shirt or whatever. But everyone's going to know. That's
I
your
like
call.
that.
Oh, my God. That's so cool. All right. Well, so you did Cone.
Yes. Yep.
And how about you, Eric? Anything?
Last bushwhack, actually, did it with my friend Evelyn. We did it from Smarts Brook. It's called Sachem Peak. You ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I know that one.
Well, that's up on the Actian line. That's what I was talking about
That's
earlier,
what
Dave.
it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
So it's,
You can see it. I always get confused. When you do the Jennings and Noon
so
Sandwich
good.
Dome Peak,
Yeah.
it's either Jennings or Noon that you're on, and you look to your right, and you're like, what is that? And you can see it.
Jennings. You can see it.
Is it from Jennings? Yeah. So we ended up going to Smarts Brook, checking it out, and it's beautiful. You could actually set a tent up there, no footprints, and just hang out.
That's
for the
my
night.
goal.
That is
in
going to be
life.
my spot, man. That and
it's
Fisher
360.
Mountain. It is. It's beautiful, and I think you can climb it too. Like it looks like a climbing route.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think
You
you
can
should do
see.
a remote broadcast and go up there and
Right? Nobody.
when you're coming down Smarts Brook from Sandwich and all that back to Smarts Brook Trailhead, you can get glimpses of the cliff wall.
You can. That's right. So, but you have to actually hike past it about almost like half a mile
to go
around it to get up it.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, and we did it in the. So we want to go back. Of course, it was like beginning of like snow season. So
it reminds me of like Mountain Height. It has that, I don't know, but it's tighter, circular.
It's tighter. It does. Oh, 360. It's beautiful.
I want to say it's like the size of this room. I swear to God,
no, it's not very big. There's a couple of little sections you can hang out in, and what I like about stuff like that, like you were saying, like height, you can't do this, but in this one, I like the sections where you can throw a tent up there somewhere, like off, not on the rocks on the summit, but you got some woods behind that you can hang out. You can even light a fire. Not that you can or should be doing that, but
with the new lighter.
Yeah, right. With the new lighter,
with my new taser,
and the new wipes. They bring the wipes.
They smell great and get a fire going.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a great weekend.
Yeah,
it's on.
You and I, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go
We're gonna skunk wipe and
skunk wipe and hang out.
Get some fires going.
Get some fires going. Yeah.
Do some tick checking. Check for ticks.
Whoa. Come on. Why are you gonna make it weird?
Let's just going. I mean, I'm not past some light petting with you, Dave.
Very light. Very light.
I can caress the beard you got going on. Yeah, that's about all I'm doing. I don't know what he's got in mind.
Just enough so the eclipse is above the horizon.
The eclipse. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Wow. It's too funny. All right, so that's your homework, Dave. You got to do that whole line. Just bag like Bald Mountain, Actaeon, Sachem.
There it is again.
Well, there's a whole bunch of them up there that are, and there's like 50 bald mountains. But that's
true.
Well, the Bald Peak, that's off of the Mount Kinsman Trail, Bald Peak.
Bald Peak, yeah,
that's a nice one. That's another nice spot too.
That would have been cool for the eclipse.
That would, yeah, absolutely. Well, no, I mean, you'd be at like 90-something%. That's the only thing. You wouldn't see it in totality.
True.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it here it's probably like 90.
Right.
It's still pretty cool, but yeah. Anyway.
There's a ton of peaks in this area, definitely.
Yeah.
So you guys done Carr Mountain?
Where is that?
Oh, wow.
I don't think I've done that one yet. Is that out of 52?
All right, so from Three Ponds Trailhead by Rumney, or from Ellsworth Hill Road right here?
Doesn't ring a bell. No.
Wow, okay, cool.
No, I got to look.
All right, so for the 500, you can get the Kineos, you can get 2 other peaks, but Carr is a viewless summit, but it's an old fire tower foundation at the top, and it's like 3,500 feet. There's 2 ways to go about it. So you can go from Three Ponds. You guys got to check out this whole area. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
2.5 miles from Three Ponds, but there's this old, almost deserted approach from the Warren side, which is 3 miles. And I got to do that Saturday or Sunday. I don't even remember anymore. But snowshoes the whole way.
Down Route 25?
Yeah, so you go to the fish
Stinson?
hatchery.
Stinson around there?
Past that.
Okay. That's okay.
Yep. So you've got Rumney Rocks, the climbing place. Mm-hmm. You've got that rattlesnake, which you can climb.
Done that.
And then further on, you can take a right and get down to Three Ponds, which is actually the same road that you would take to Stinson.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just a little further down. It's a trailhead on the left.
Yeah.
It's a good ways out.
Yeah, for sure. So that's that area. Mm-hmm. But for this other approach, Carr Mountain Trail, it's in Warren. It's by the Fish and Game Hatchery in Warren. It's behind that, and I'd heard rumors that it's like, I don't know, might as well be abandoned at this point. It still has a White Mountain National Forest sign, Carr Mountain Trail, a lot of clear cutting like the first half mile. So ended up making it maybe like 80% of the way up, but it was breaking trail the whole way up. It's the northern side. It was just it was pretty wild.
That's cool. I'm gonna check that
out. Foot deep the whole way, and
big Carr Hood. You said
that's where the Carr Hood is. Yeah, Carr Hood and Carr Mountain. There you go. Maybe that's the whole shtick. Yeah. But check it out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, never heard of it.
But it needs some love.
Yeah.
Definitely needs some love. I'm shocked that it's
we'll have to adopt it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
You guys should do,
as for the podcast.
Yeah, why not? Just adopt the trail. Dave's not me. I mean, I'm too busy. But Dave,
I got nothing going on.
He's got the wipes. He's all set.
Yeah, no.
If he gets swamped,
I'm going to rename it to the Smell Good Trail.
Yeah, I'll take it under consideration.
Yeah.
It's time for Slasher's Guest of the Week. Very cool. Very cool.
So let's start with you, Eric. Just a little bit more about you and what you've been up to lately. You've been on before. And,
it was awesome. Yeah.
So
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for coming over.
Absolutely. I live pretty far away.
Yeah, what's been going on over the last several months?
Nothing really. Just finishing up the cabin, got the wood stove in.
Yeah.
As you all know, I built a log cabin, had a log cabin built in Thornton. So,
yeah.
And now it's going to be onto landscaping it, getting some trees in and getting a driveway and things like that.
Yeah, so you basically got it up and running in the fall before the winter came in?
Yeah, about October it was finished. Yeah. So it's been a running hostel since then, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That's been pretty awesome. But between besides that and hiking almost, 4, 5, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes every day. But nothing crazy, no goals. I don't really have that. The only thing I have been doing lately is going to the Adirondacks. So I started hitting those. Those are nice, yeah, real pretty. And I've learned something, like the trails there are broken out, and you wear snowshoes, not like here. Whole different ball game up there.
What do you mean by that?
If you do not have your snowshoes on your pack,
you're screwed.
Or you're not wearing them, they fine you and say go home.
Oh, excellent! Yeah. Wow, interesting.
Yeah, trails are literally like a highway there. So I've been exploring out there a little bit more.
Yeah,
trying. And I'm gonna go back as probably, as soon as I put some grass in and finish the landscaping in the cabin, I'll start heading that way and hitting those mountains. I do want to finish them this year, though. I want to do them all, not for a patch or anything. I don't do that. I just want to finish them to see them.
They're pretty impressive from what I've seen.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and it's remote. It takes a long time to get there.
Oh yeah, that's
far.
one
It's over 4.5 hours away. Yeah, it's far. But I got some
long approaches, I hear. The approaches are very long to get to
not
the
the ones
mountains.
I did so far. I've just did the smaller ones because, I'm just new at it there, So I did Porter, Cascade, Giant, Big Slide, Macomb Slide, actually. Stuff like White. I did Whiteface this winter. That was like my only winter Adirondack.
Are they similar? Are they different? How are they, comparatively?
Is it for here?
Yeah.
Well,
the whites.
I can't really tell because it was covered in snow, but all I know is as far as trail conditions, it was literally a highway. You could almost ride a bicycle down.
Wow.
It's nothing like here because, here it's postal to hell. Not there. They literally will fine you and say, go home. So that's different. Much different, yeah.
So who will? Rangers?
Yeah, they're actually... There's a ranger station. There's a few of them, I guess, but the only one I went to in the winter. I guess there's somebody. I didn't see him there that day. Mostly in the weekends they're there, and they're right at before you even start hiking, and that's where all the trails start.
Okay. Yeah. So it's almost like a steward.
It's called.
Are they out there looking at people, checking?
Yeah. That's what I've been told. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
They have like snowshoe speed traps.
Yeah.
Just come up behind the tree.
Excuse me there.
Guy. How fast you going? I see you're not wearing your snowshoes. Smell alcohol in your breath? Why don't you pull over here? Let's search that backpack.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I can now.
Can you imagine if they were searching people's backpack for alcohol?
Oh, my
the
God.
White Mountains would be empty.
Yeah, no. It'd be a lot less post holes.
Yeah, it's true. You got a point. Yeah, right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, just safety-wise, post holes can screw people up big time.
I put it up on Facebook before and had debates, and people you get hung, so it's not even worth it. But I am See, I'm an advocate for wearing them.
And here we
when
go.
You need them.
I'm the mindset, my body, my choice.
No, true.
But I also look at. I was curious. Have you had a lot of call-outs, a lot of rescues for people that rolled ankles from post holes if they were the ones wearing snowshoes? Because typically you can kind of go over. There's a certain season where post holes are they're canyons. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, you're falling in.
Yeah.
But I was just curious, and I'm of the. To me, I wear them so before they come after me.
Right.
I wear my snowshoes. Everybody, it's gonna be okay.
I was gonna give you a fine right now. Yeah, you're good. You're clear. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a few. Winter's an anomaly though when it comes to search and rescue because there's all kinds of strange things that happen.
Yeah.
You get a lot of experienced people that are probably wearing all the right gear, but just make the wrong step and end up sliding.
That's what happened to me.
I want to say that the. Was it the Avalon rescue was probably a lower leg injury that was
the most recent one?
Yeah. So it can happen for sure, but it's a whole weird variety of incidents that can happen over the winter. Yeah,
it's hard too because like today, having snowshoes on would have killed me because of the slush factor and the pitch coming down off the ledges. Yeah, I'd be skiing.
Right.
Like it's got no bite.
Same thing we did today.
Oh, yeah,
we had them on going up, took them off going down. Yeah. So you had better traction. like you said, it was way too slushy.
You just couldn't do it.
Just
So I
slide all the way
ditched
down.
them early, and I was like, I need
yeah.
grip. I can't. Yeah, and it's too slippery either way you're going.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. And this winter, what do you think? It hasn't been as bad as other
Not
winters.
as bad, no. I mean, it's like last year, I believe. Like as soon as April hit, boom, you got a couple snowstorms. You know?
Yeah.
It melts quick though, which is good.
Yeah, but I get the impression that the monorail this year is not going to be as severe as prior
Probably
years.
not. No. I hope not. You know, but it does stick around for a while, as we all know. You know, you got to deal with it. But you know, a lot of people go south. They just stay. You know, not me, but a lot of people do, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, they'll go to like what the Belknaps just to stay away for a month or so, stay away from the whites because of that.
Did the Adirondacks close trails during mud season?
No,
they're open. Okay.
Vermont, yes, but we all know that.
Yeah.
But no, Adirondacks. I heard it is. I have not been there in the spring. I heard it's horrifying, like knee deep mud. Yeah, I got some friends that I hike with that like you wait to go out there in the spring, man. It's crazy, but they do not close them. No,
Vermont's muddy.
Vermont,
even beyond mud season.
Yeah,
it's always
yeah,
muddy.
yeah.
It's got to be like Gilligan's Island quicksand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not.
I was out there right at the end of mud season. It was still muddy. I was like, whew.
Now, what about shifting gears a little bit? So you did your, what was it, 100 summits of Mount Washington?
150. I'm up to 100. It's not a lot, though. I mean, this guy's out there doing it, probably 1,000 times. So, I'm just a little peon, but I'm up to like 160. Yeah, 160.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just up there
keep on going.
3-4 days ago. I just do it for the exercise, though.
Yeah.
That's literally all. I don't. I don't list anything. I don't write anything down.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah,
I don't know how many miles. I could care less. I just go up to hike just so I can eat whatever I want at night.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why I'm here, and it's pretty.
He's the Jenny Craig of mountaineering.
Hey, that's an idea.
He's got his points.
Now that I got the cabin, I can have like this weight loss thing. Everybody can come by, and I can take them hiking, stay the night.
Sweet weight loss.
Right? Think of that, man. Huh?
Right.
You and I can start a business together.
There's no. Don't drag me into this.
Well, I need someone to help me. I'm not doing this alone.
I'm already carrying your pack for the 48.
This is true.
Come on.
True. But I'm light petting. I'm going to hook you up. Come on. Take care of you.
All right. So no list, nothing serious. No big ambitious things. We did talk about your efforts with Adaptive.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
Sports. I volunteer like a couple days a week. It's awesome, man. It makes you feel real good. It's the only reason why I do it. And you just to see them smile. It's something special. You got to do it to see it. It's pretty awesome. I bet. So, like this Saturday, we're going to take Sasha, and her mother is amazing. What a doll! So, and she actually worked for Adaptive. So we get it. This time was tough though. There was like one ski, not a wheel. This was a ski, and it's got one ski on the middle of this like adaptive wheelchair kind of thing, and you got someone in the back, and there's a brake. So if you're going downhill, you can stop it. Yeah. And then not on the ski, of course, but on when it has the wheel on it, and and you got to like just go for a mile and a half or whatever whatever it is.
What's the hardest thing you've done with one of the adaptive clients?
Really? Oh my God. Post holing. We couldn't wear the snowshoes because my snowshoes were hitting the front of the thing. We had to take them off. I'm like a foot deep. Oh, it was really hard.
Oh my God.
Another one we did with and Nate runs it. Nate and Kelly, they're awesome people. And
where are they out of?
Franconia.
Franconia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as you take that right, there's a grocery store right there, and it's like right after that. Okay. So we did it up the Flume Gorge, up and down all those hills, and people actually walk, and that's hilly.
Yeah.
Oh sure.
It burns people out. We have to do that.
The down's got to be killer.
Oh, but that's where you have the break. So
on the ski, I'm saying though, with the ski.
They don't do that though. But this guy actually they do adaptive skiing though. It's everything like gardening, skiing, kayaking.
Oh, yeah.
But we play bocce ball at Dow Park, and it's wicked competitive. It's the cutest thing. It really is. And, even I'm on the team. It's great. So
he's on FanDuel.
Yeah,
taking the over under.
Oh, it's awesome. But honestly, when you do something like that, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
We are so privileged. We really are. So I love doing it.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Well said.
And I could do it. I'd like to get a job there, but it's nonprofit, so it's not like they're hiring. But
interesting. How are they doing for gear and donations and stuff like that? Did they?
From what I understand, great. I mean, actually, they had a bunch of snowshoes the other day. We had about say 10 people that were volunteering, and it's all they had all brand new snowshoes and everything. So I mean, it's nice that they get that people do donate. But I mean, it's skis and snowshoes and spikes. They have all the gear. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the adaptive community is pretty prolific up here. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Ski mountains, different towns. It's everywhere. It's great. It's really good to see.
It is, yeah. And actually, last time I took athletes last year up, what do you call that one across from Cannon, that small one? I've done it a million million times. Everybody's done it. The small Artist Bluff. When I was on Artist Bluff, Nate was actually coming down on the adaptive with an athlete on the ski, coming down. So we filmed it. You can actually see them, and they love it, man. The excitement in their face when they're skiing and you're taking them hiking, and all that. They just light up, Especially Sasha. When you go a little faster, she gets this little excitement, it's awesome.
Such a ripple effect too for the family, the friend, like everybody around.
The family usually
it's
goes
just so
too.
much positive that comes out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
And a lot of times, they're home, and this is their, 1 or 2 days a week to actually get out and hang out with other people and see the nature, and then they love it. You're usually on the bike paths and things like that, but we do take them up small mountain. And there's we go to Franconia too. There's Franconia Field where they fly the planes. So behind there.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know the area too well, but behind there we do some hiking.
On the Kinsman's, the back.
That's
of the
right, exactly. Yeah, off of off of 116. Yeah. So yeah.
Now, what about? Isn't there an ascent to the top of Mount Washington?
Every year.
On a road?
Yeah, there is. It's called the Sunrise Ascent, ASPNC.
Okay.
Sunrise Ascent. This will be my third year doing it, so anybody interested, you can volunteer, you can sign up, you can reach out to me.
Yeah.
Nate also and Kelly run that.
Cool. Okay.
And it's usually the end of July into August.
Now,
and it's on a Sunday.
How's that work?
Everybody meets around 2-3 in the morning. There's tents set up at the base of Mount Washington Auto Road, and there's different teams. I'm on Team Jacques. This will be my third year probably on Team Jacques. So, you just basically, it's another specialized wheelchair, one in the back, one in the front. I call it lead bull. I had a strap around me, so I'm actually pulling the cart.
Okay, so how many people are on this cart?
So that's 2, one in the front, one in the back, and sometimes 2 on each side pulling a strap because you're going up the auto road. You're talking 8 miles.
Safe too,
But we do stop. There's like 2 points where you stop off, get a snack, and we'll flatten out a little bit. But then we get to the summit of Mount Washington, and we actually carry it up to the summit, and we all take a picture, and then we take a van down. So.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
So I've summited Mount Washington 162 times, but I can only count 160 because we had to take the van down. That's actually scary. That sucks. I hate it.
Oh yeah,
I had a guy, terrifying. Steve, last year. He was driving me down, and can you go slow? He goes, Eric, I'm going 8 miles an hour. I'm like, go to 4. This sucks. I'm scared. If everybody knows me, heights. I'm not a fan. I'll hike up anything. I'll do a headstand anywhere. But if you put me in a vehicle, I don't go over 60, and I don't like heights.
But you're good on slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did a handstand on Bondcliff, right?
In the snow with snowshoes on.
That's
this
insane.
year.
See, I get sick. I get nauseous sick at the edge of stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that doesn't bother me too much now.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't.
Get him on the couch. He's gonna get him. He needs some therapy.
That's why it's there.
Talk it through.
Telling you.
That is a well. That is a bottomless well. That needs.
Yeah.
But no, that I tell you is awesome. Like I said, we start around 3:30 in the morning, and all the teams start, and we all go up, and the camaraderie is incredible. And at the end of the day, there's a cookout down below, and we all hang out with the athletes, and it's fun. It's really fun. You get to meet all the new people too. But it does put things in perspective how lucky we are and fortunate.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
To have your health.
Your health, absolutely.
I just said that the last episode. Like I thank God every time. Every time I'm out there, I'm like, thank you for my health.
I should be. This. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it doesn't last forever.
No, nothing does. No. We're only here for this little time, so enjoy it. Be kind. Spread the love. Spread the kindness. Stop. That's what it's about.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm sitting here with you 2 psychopaths wasting time right now doing this.
We're talking about.
I'm trying to find the tissues.
You too.
All right, so we cover everything. I mean, what else is going on?
We're both going to be on that couch. No, I don't mean that. I mean, he's going to be talking to us. Well, unless
did you notice the gigantic beanbag?
I did notice that.
All right, that's Mrs. Stomps. You touch that, you'll be in trouble.
I didn't even looking at it.
No. Yeah, well, you getting ideas?
What are you talking about? Nope. What are you talking about?
All right, well, that goes over to you, Dave. So you're more of a bushwhacker by trade at the moment.
For now, like I did the trails and I kind of exhausted the list, so to speak, the 48s, the 52s, and all the numbers.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of popped onto the 100, started chipping away at those. Got a few of those left.
Yeah.
And then you can't necessarily, well, you could, but I'm not about to go hit some of those. Some of them are beasts.
Yeah.
For winter, it's just not worth the effort. It's not comfortable doing some of those. So I just kind of picking off the 500.
Where are you now in terms of the 500?
Today was a milestone. Today was 200.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Because we got blocked last time. Private property rights are coming up more and more.
Really? You've noticed that?
Yeah, a lot. You have to skirt a lot more, and we were denied Melvin Mountain last week off of Orange by...
Do you think it's because of the 500 list that's aggravating
I think it's COVID.
COVID. Oh, because of the
People had
uptick
nothing to
in-
do. They went out and they squatted. They went out and camped in the woods for long periods of time. They trashed it.
Interesting.
They burned it. They lit fires. They took ATVs. They had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So they all went out and just squatted and drove around people's land, and the landowners got sick of it. And a lot of these are like this conglomerates or LLCs that landowners pay them to put it in conservation. It helps them on their taxes.
Yeah.
But when you don't use it for recreation, you have to pay more in taxes. And they're actually going to that extent to say we don't want it for recreation because people are trashing our land. So they're actually posting signs and keeping people off and paying extra in taxes just so they don't get used, for recreation, which is a shame.
Yeah, that is a shame.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I chip away at it. I mean, I get out when I can get out, but I'm down for whatever. I like to just hit stuff when people have cool hikes. I love history.
You're down for whatever, and you like to hit stuff.
I do.
Oh, sorry, my mind was so.
Yeah, no. But you know what? It was the light petting that kind of got. I don't even know if we're talking about mountains.
And you did say that I was.
I don't get out much. I don't get out much.
I can see
and it's you. I mean, you see you on the internet, and I'm here with you now, and I'm like, oh my god, and he's hitting on me. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, this doesn't happen to guys like me.
Warn you before I came on. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
But so I like to look into the history stuff too. A lot of mines, a lot of old towns, a lot of logger roads.
Well, I know,
and then kind of weave it into different bushwhacks and different hikes. And when I can throw the pack on and take a hammock, I love to just camp out in between.
That's fat.
And just have a night, get up, find moose bogs. It's cool until they show up. You're like, oh god.
Have you had luck finding moose?
Not necessarily. We just a couple of Nash Stream.
Yeah,
I'm hopefully going to go out this spring, try to find some shed, especially in that area. This castle, I got to hit that one.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Just
so
poke around.
We've talked about it before, but the 500 is based upon the 200-foot prominence rule. So basically, a summit has to have 200 feet
correct
for it to count. And I don't know who came up with the list. I know that there's an Instagram group or maybe it's a dedicated website for the 500 now.
I use Wilderlist, which is an app, and I think it connects to all of them. But I'm sure there's some differences.
I've got something to show you. It's the CalTopo as a 500 highest.
I'll just see how they match up.
Which is fantastic. Yeah.
And some of them are, walks. You just breeze. It's easy woods. You're up, you're down. It's great.
Yeah.
And others are beatings. Like there's some that you're just in spruce traps in the winter. Like, are you kidding me? This thing's like 1,900 feet, 2,000 feet, and you're struggling for a good hour to get through these spruce traps.
That's tough, man.
On the way down, you can realize like, I could skirt it. You don't have that.
Yeah.
A lot of the bigger ones up in the whites have ledges. You got one way in, one way out.
Yeah.
And you just got to eat crap and deal with it. That's how it goes. But up there, you're kind of like, I can go way around that way and come back. But
hey, speaking of that, not to interrupt you, did you see that movie they made about the whites that was not filmed in the whites?
Oh, Infinite Storm?
Infinite Storm. Did you see the spruce trap she fell in?
Oh, dude,
Dave,
the 15-footer.
It's like 10, 15 feet.
It's like an elevator shaft.
It was.
It's like an elevator shaft. It just keeps going.
Lynn Sweezer and I watched it. I sat there and laughed my ass off.
It's like when
This is the
Gandalf.
fakest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Gandalf falls off the bridge. It just keeps going.
Hey, Dave, the spruce trap was as high as this building was sitting in right now.
Wow.
It's like, come on, man.
I mean, I'm not a big guy, so I feel like spruce traps are big. But I mean, there's a limit. I mean,
yeah.
No, that was funny. That was the one part of that movie that sort of threw me off. Like, that's not very accurate. I mean, I could actually live with the views because it did resemble certain parts of the whites. But
the spruce trap got me. Anyway,
that was
I haven't seen that one yet. So I'm not going to rush out now.
It's a good comedy. Wait till you see it.
Another spoiler alert. First the dogs.
Spoilers. Yeah, we're killing it for you here.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He's never going to watch TV again.
Now I'm afraid to hike. That's a rough.
Wait till you hike with me.
Oh, man. All right, so what else is going on? So no,
life's about to happen. I've had a lot of time. Just business is slowing down a little bit. It's just, I think, function of the economy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People have rebuilt everything that there is to rebuild. And I got, spring's coming up. It's going to pick back up. The phone's already starting to blow up. I got one going into college and one coming out. And then a family trip. So life is just going to be like, see ya. So I'll get out when I can for sanity, but it's just going to be hell. Yeah. Good hell.
Oh, you'll get out there.
Like temperature controlled hell. Like it's climate controlled. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But,
Very good. Very good.
That's cool.
It's time for Slasher's Notable Hike of the Week. If you want to be considered for the hike of the week, simply tag Slasher on your social media post.
Now we come to the notable hike of the week here.
What's that about? I've never heard of.
Well, let me tell you a
what
little
is
bit
this
about
notable hike? Please explain more.
Yeah.
So you can, if you want to be considered for Slasher's notable hike of the week, all you have to do is tag Slasher on Instagram for us to consider your hike as notable hike of the week. And every week we get a whole bunch. This week we have. You didn't tag us this week, did you?
What?
Did you?
Wait, let me. Shit!
Hurry up.
Where's wait? Can I do it right now?
Well, I think
Did
you
I not?
You did Cone, didn't you?
Technically, but this is the audiobook
right,
version
well.
of the post.
I'll give you Cone because we discussed that in detail.
Well, we're done right there.
There you
That
go.
was easy.
So Gingerbeard Keen starts us off with
Mikey.
Yeah.
A great guy. Mikey's great.
He did Catterskill Falls in
Never
the
heard of that.
Catskills,
Oh, I never heard of that. No.
and then
I think he made it up.
Bash Bish
He's a liar.
Falls in Mass.
Oh, I've done that. Bash Bish.
You have?
I have. Yes, years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
cool.
right.
That's actually pretty cool.
Then he tagged us again. It was he did Little Pac-Monadnock for Sunset, and then just for the eclipse, he was up on Madison and Adams and went back to the hut for the totality. That's pretty slick.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's super
Yeah,
cool.
Mike he's another hostel guest at the Sweet Hostel. Mike.
Oh, the Sweet Hostel.
I thought he might have had anger issues.
No, oh God, no. I
was like, wow, really?
Mike's a cream puff. He's
Seems pretty easy going, huh?
Mike is one of the nicest men out there. He's a great guy. Yeah.
Cream puff. I don't know if he's gonna like that one.
Yeah,
No,
wow.
it's in a good way. He's a sweetheart.
That's a good
How about
way.
sweetheart, Mike? There you go.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah.
You're always our cream puff, Gingerbeard. So EC Banks Hikes tagged us for Pierce with a brief attempt towards Mitzpah via the Crawford Path, but ultimately turned back, which is probably a good call. Get back to the superhighway of the trail he was on. Liz Fay tagged us. Liz, your
Nope,
partner.
she's out. Nope. 2 times notable. That's enough. Shut it off. That's enough. You're not Tom Brady. Stop.
All right, so Liz did Garnet and Lewis Hill in Bethlehem. I've done those as well. Those are pretty cool. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here. Let me look back in the list here to see if you did tag, but hold on. Oh, wow.
This could be really embarrassing.
Gingerbeard. Hold on, this is getting good. Oh, wait a minute. You did tag us. You tagged us for... Don't tell me you stopped watching and missed the once-in-a-lifetime double eclipse. Oh, that was the one you...
I did the eclipse.
Yeah, you did that
The
one.
last hike I did was, before that, was Orange, and someone else who you just mentioned,
Liz,
got the
right?
notable hike. That I thought I was going to sneak in on that one. But she didn't get that one, actually. I take that back. She didn't get the notable because Mike caught on. Because I was trying to piggyback on that one. If she had won, I was there.
All
So
right.
it counts, but no, I
And
didn't.
then can you explain the other one there with the questionable decisions, and there was a picture of a yellow kayak?
Oh, yeah. Funny thing. We had just enough snow up in Vermont, and we had more alcohol than we had snow, and we were just kind of hanging out, and we just decided that it would be fun. First of all, I had a butt sled, and that's how it started. So I made just a little luge down, and then we built a little ramp to make the butt sled go faster right near the road.
I already
Then we
know
made
where this is going.
We made a bigger ramp, and then
Kayaks, right? It has to be.
my son, genetically linked, was like, why don't we get the kayak? And me, being the adult, said, that's a terrible idea. It's got a rudder. And Mrs. Shits was like, yeah, that is a bad idea. And he said, well, it doesn't have a rudder. And somehow that was okay, that she's like, oh, yeah, go ahead then. I'm like, what?
So perfect. You have nothing to hold you back.
So, and off we went, and it was just an absolute blast.
Oh,
That is
man.
freaking awesome.
We built a little ramp.
Really?
It
In a
was-
kayak?
It was so much fun.
Was it a two-person or just
It
one?
was just one.
So you can just totally mess yourself up. You don't have to mess your partner up.
It was much safer.
Yeah, that's
I had
safe.
my vest on.
Yeah. See, if you right, I was just gonna say, if you had
PFD.
your vest on
Yep.
and it's a one person, totally safe.
It was a blast.
Absolutely.
We had style points. Then we had distance. Then we
Did it like roll left to right, or did you use the paddle?
It rolled left, and then it tumbled right when it hit a little patch. It was a blast.
That sounds
It
cool.
was so much fun. And people
This could be something new.
People would kind of watch.
I'm going to go down the cog in a kayak now. I'm so excited.
You could definitely go down the cog.
I can
in a
tow
kayak.
that son of a bitch right up there. No problem.
Stopping would be a problem, I think.
Yeah,
That would be
you
the
need
main
to
thing.
stop. You know,
You'd get air.
Yeah.
You would definitely get air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially,
we're not.
I just wouldn't want to go into Bert's Ravine. You know?
Well, yeah, that was just. Gonna say
yeah. Got to make sure it's below Jacob's Ladder. Just a little.
Yeah, that's hairy. I've yet to see that in person.
What's
Is
that?
it really that dangerous?
Jacob's Ladder?
Well, I know Jacob's, but Bert, that one section where
yeah,
you're
it
right
all
on the
depends.
edge.
When there's a lot of snow, it tends to pile up next to the track.
Yeah.
And then it makes like a 45-degree angle. So you literally have to like dig in.
Yeah.
Or walk close to the tracks because you can slide off. You can. You know.
How much of a drop?
30,
Enough.
30, 40 feet. Well, with a friend of mine actually a few years ago, she got rescued there.
During COVID?
Yeah, do you remember that?
I do.
I even know, I'm not going to mention her name, but yeah,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
she got hurt real bad.
Yeah, I
Real
remember
bad.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember she took a lot of heat too.
Yeah.
Social media.
I did it. Yeah, exactly. When I did it, I see it wasn't too sketchy, but it was at that 45-degree angle. It was with Littlefoot. We were going up there, and I tied a rope from my belt to hers to make sure she wouldn't go sliding.
Yeah.
And she needed Mount Washington, so we went up that way. And like I said, sometimes it depends on how much snow there is. But if there's not a lot of snow, it's like a little bowl. You're kind of safe. But the more snow piles up close to that track,
Especially if it snowpacks and gets icy.
and that's what it was. It was,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, you slip your
It
gum.
wasn't icy the day we did it with Littlefoot, but I have seen it really icy, really bad.
Gone up there with that's one of
Yeah.
the few places I've used full crampons and
Yeah.
had the axe
And
out
you
because I'm
can't-
like you sneeze one way. and
Correct.
it's, See ya.
Right. Yeah, and you see people with ice axes skiing, and that's fine, but they're on their backpack. I'm like, you should have it in your. Well, you can't have it in your hand, so what are you carrying it for?
Yeah, sure.
But it's safe, but you can't go on the other side of the track. There's too much snow.
Right.
It all builds up there with the drift. So.
Wow.
So we're gonna do the kayak thing. Just remind me after the show.
You got it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right.
And last on this list is Carrie Burrell, who did Madison and Adams as well for the Eclipse, and then Dave, of course, we'll give you Cone. So, Dave, I guess you can decide who is the notable hike of the week.
That puts a ton of pressure on me.
I just noticed that. Poor Dave.
I can't
Give him a beer, will you?
wait, some of those.
I'm handing this to you on a platter.
I know, and I have guilt. And I can hear Mike in Russia screaming right now. I don't know how you say no in Russian. No, yeah, I don't know. Can I give it to myself? I don't know how this works. Is he just going to come back and overturn it?
Does he
have
I don't
that
think
power?
he has that power. Yeah, this is a 50-50 venture. So
I guess I'm a self-appointed notable hiker. I feel weird about this. I feel dirty.
No, give it to yourself.
hell yeah. What do you think?
You talking
Isn't-
about the hike though? Or what do you mean? Give it to myself?
Listen, it's like the eclipse happened. That's a rarity.
Yeah.
This moment will never happen again, probably, where he's in Europe and has no say in this matter whatsoever. So I would take the ball and run.
Yeah. No, I think this is the day. I think this is it.
I think
it's
you're right. What
happening.
do you think, Eric?
Yeah,
Good?
I'm with you.
I think
Yeah.
we have totality.
Yep, I
Yeah,
agree.
this-
The
yeah.
vote is in. You're in.
There it is.
Congratulations.
Oh my God!
Seriously, nice job, man.
I'd like to thank everybody I've hiked with. I can't forget my parents who.
Give him a
Do
skunky
you want to go on
wipe.
the couch and have a talk, or yes, give him a skunky? Well, you might need those skunky wipes.
I just need a minute. I never thought this day would happen, and here we are.
He's
and,
glowing.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Susan Lucci, I love you. Thank you so much. You were.
Here comes the music.
I'd like to thank the Academy. There's just too many people.
Oh my
God!
Like the
Congrats.
Academy.
Yeah.
Where's Ricky Gervais when you need him?
Yeah. I'm gonna
That's
go
funny
print
as
that
hell.
shirt when I get home now.
Yeah, that's
My
great.
name on the back and everything.
Oh man, Mike's gonna have a heart attack. No, that's funny.
That's funny.
All right, so let's go into our guest of the week, and this is 48 Peaks ALzheimer. So we're going to talk to Cindy Hession and Alana Barrett of 48 Peaks, and yeah, let's check it out.
Cindy, that's another hostile guest.
She's hostile.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
Slasher's hiking topic of the week.
So tonight we are joined by Cindy Hession. Is that correct, Cindy? Hession or Hession? Hession. A little
yeah.
fast. Okay. And Alana Barrett. There are two
Alana.
representatives. Oh, Alana. Oh my goodness. I'm off to such a horrible start.
Happens all the time.
Does it really happen all the time?
That's all right. I'll respond to you there. All good.
Oh, okay. Well, they're both from the Alzheimer's Association, and there's a big event coming up this spring, and it's right up here in the Northeast, in New Hampshire. It's called the 48 Peaks Alzheimer's event, and they're here to break it down for us. But do you two get nervous doing these things? Do you do a lot of these interviews and online types of things?
This is only my second ever, so still get a little of those nerves. I had one earlier this week, and so I feel like I'm fresh on kind of coming off one, and I really enjoyed the experience. So happy to be here. All
right. And how about you, Cindy?
I'm getting better. I still had some nerves, but I was like, it's Stomp. I shouldn't be too afraid, right? Like,
yeah, I won't bite. You know, it's funny. I get actually sort of nervous doing this. I had, for some reason, it's easier when Mike's here because he's such a pro with it. But yeah, for whatever reason, I get a little nervous. It's actually easier for me if people are in the room here with me. I find that easier. But like through the remote connection, it's just a little odd. But anyhow, so before we get into the big topics, Cindy, how did you get into hiking and how did you get into this great organization?
Yeah, I'd say I first got into hiking as a kid. My dad was a member of the Mass Audubon Society, and I went to the local nature camp like for February and April breaks. So, hiking as a kid is like 1-2 miles, right? And then when I was in grad school out at UMass Amherst, I explored a bit of the valley there and got into hiking. And then one of my friends and her mom were working on the 48 and ended up doing the 48. So that's how I got into New Hampshire hiking.
And they're actually right now. Are you living down where, in Mass or?
Yeah, I'm right outside Boston. So we have some, Middlesex Fells, Blue Hills. I could drive out to like Wachusett, and then it's a good hour up to like Winnipesaukee area, and then 2 up to the Whites. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And how'd you get involved with the Alzheimer's organization?
So the same friend I mentioned who got me into the 48, her and her mom were hiking, I think it was the Franconia Loop back in 2017. And they came upon a group of hikers dressed in purple. And they asked, what are you out here doing? And it was for 48 Peaks. So she she didn't have a connection at the time to Alzheimer's or dementia, but she knew I did. So she sent me the details. We signed up for 2018 and then got a whole team together in 2019. And here we are. I'm still doing it.
Wow, that's great. And is it all volunteer for you? Or are you actually a paid volunteer, or how's that work?
All volunteer. I'm the new volunteer chair actually for this year. So that's my first time jumping into helping really, I've always been involved organizing since 2020, but now I'm really helping work one-on-one with Megan. Plan everything with the team. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, I've not met anybody that hasn't been just top notch from the organization. Megan, Lynn, is Lynn Sweezer still involved? I mean, everybody is just really phenomenal. You have such a great crew. Okay, so how about you, Alana?
We do.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit newer into the hiking. I didn't, a little bit different than Cindy. I didn't really grow up with too much hiking experience. I'm also in Massachusetts, a little closer to the New Hampshire border, but kind of got into it through the Alzheimer's route. My mom has younger onset Alzheimer's, and as a caregiver, I started kind of getting involved in the Alzheimer's associations. They have so many different ways to get involved, whether it's a walk or a race or going to different events or just kind of looking at their resources. And hiking was something that I did kind of want to get into and explore, and wanted to kind of find a community that I could learn from. And this popped up on social media as kind of a good way to kind of get my foot maybe in the door, learn some hiking experience. So 2 years ago, I was able to join Cindy along on a hike and do my first 48. And so I'm still new into the hiking realm, but everyone has been so welcoming and kind, and really a great community when it comes to support with Alzheimer's, whether someone's dealing with it directly or wants to learn more about it. It's just been an awesome resource.
Okay, now what was your first 48 peak?
We did Pierce.
After all, we are a hiking podcast.
Yeah, Pierce. So
Okay.
I'm up to 3 now. I'm hoping to do a few more. And within the last few years, I've gone kind of from hiking once or twice to kind of getting out there more often on the weekends. And I'm excited to get out there and do a little bit more this year. And this year I get to lead my own team for the first time. So really excited.
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. But when it comes to Alzheimer's, Alana, can you talk about Alzheimer's in general for the audience? Just, history, causes, treatments, things of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start first with, a lot of times people will hear dementia and then they'll hear Alzheimer's. And dementia is an umbrella term. It really describes the symptoms associated with Alzheimer's, which is a form of dementia. And some of those are most common: memory loss, but sometimes confusion, trouble cognitively and behaviorally with everyday tasks. And so Alzheimer's is one of the most common types of dementia, but there also are other types of dementia. And so wanted to kind of start with that distinction, because sometimes you hear both terms and you're like, are they the same? Are they different? And so the first time kind of learning kind of what symptoms my mom was having, and she's now in her 60s, but she started seeing some of these symptoms in her 50s, and they were kind of that memory loss and having trouble kind of, remembering different daily tasks or different conversations that she had. She was a nurse, and a fantastic nurse, but with introduction of new electronic health records and stuff like that, some of those day-to-day tasks just got really challenging. And then there's also some other behavioral aspects, and everyone presents a little bit differently. I'm obviously talking about my experience with my mom, but some people see different behaviors or different signs that might indicate. There are, I think, 10 common symptoms, and on the Alzheimer's Association website, they kind of list out these different early detection type of symptoms that you might see. It's a really great resource. So if, someone that or maybe yourself, you start kind of feeling like maybe these are something I should be concerned about, doesn't feel like it's part of the normal, healthy aging process of a brain. Not to say that lapses and confusion here or there, getting confused isn't normal. Sometimes it is. But definitely check out the resource on the Alzheimer's page for a little bit more in depth, as well as, talk to a doctor or a medical professional if there's really a concern.
And when you say Alzheimer's page, is that the national, what page exactly is this?
Yep. So the website you can go to is alz.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for more specifics about that'll bring you to the general page, but more specifics about our what we're going to talk about here with the 48 Peaks, you can find that at alz.org/48 Peaks or alz.org/Mass New Hampshire.
Okay.
Right. I also happen to have the 10 signs of Alzheimer's. I have a printout. I keep it on my fridge. I can read them if it's helpful.
Go
just
for
as
it.
a reference for everyone. So
Absolutely.
Alana mentioned a few already. So there's memory loss that disrupts daily life, challenges in planning or problem solving, difficulty completing familiar tasks at home, at work, or at leisure, confusion with time and place, trouble understanding visual images or spatial relationships, new problems with words and speaking or writing, misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace your steps, decreased or poor judgment, withdrawal from work or social activities, and changes in mood and personality. So it's a nice little printout. You can't see it because my background's blurred, but it's something I just keep on my fridge, and it's on the ALS website, like Alana mentioned, if anyone wants to keep it handy as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to know. So either one of you can talk about this, maybe Cindy. What about genetics or prevention, early signs, symptoms, that type of thing? We went over some of the symptoms. How about, is there a genetic link? Does it run in families, or what's happening with that?
Yeah, it's having a parent or a sibling with Alzheimer's increases your risk. It doesn't mean you will develop it, but it definitely increases your chances of it. There is genetic testing available, but the association doesn't recommend it. And, instead, if you notice signs, talk to your doctor or call the association's helpline for advice. So there is definitely some different genetic influences for sure.
Alana, I suppose I'll go back to you. How about preventative steps that somebody can take to mitigate the risk of developing Alzheimer's?
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a lot of research being done into kind of understanding more about what the cause is, or kind of research into understanding it. And there are, a lot of research coming out that lifestyle factors, exercise and healthy diet, and kind of being mindful of, your daily activities, can really help decrease your risk of Alzheimer's, and kind of, making sure that you're taking care of your body, and, you're make sure you're getting your regular screenings and checkups and stuff like that. 'Cause there's a lot of, correlation between kind of having, other diseases and developing Alzheimer's.
Okay. All right. Any other causes that have been discovered? Pollution or environmental causes?
Yeah, there's definitely some environmental causes as well. I don't think they are able to pinpoint one thing here or there, but in terms of a healthy living environment and, clean air and clean water and resources to kind of healthy, unprocessed food is definitely goes a long way into keeping your brain healthy, just overall.
Unprocessed food, yeah. There's been a lot of talk about that lately, just in the news media in general.
Yeah, I think it's all comes back to, the principles of brain health too. The food that you eat and how you, spend your day, you're trying to keep your brain healthy and functioning and keep it engaged. And a lot of those aspects are really important for preventing Alzheimer's.
Okay. Now, how about family support and treatment? What resources are out there for families or couples, individuals that may be experiencing this?
I can cover caregiver support first. So the association offers a number of resources for caregivers, including, like I mentioned, the 24/7 helpline. I can mention it. I think it'll be in the show notes, but it's 1-800-272-3900. It's 24/7. There's over 200, clinicians manning it. I shouldn't say 200. 200 languages spoken by the clinicians who man the helpline. And you can call them with any question. They'll help you figure out what's best for your situation and offer advice. There's also, they can provide tips on addressing caregiver stress, depression, dealing with grief. There's other support groups. Alana, I'm sure, can comment on this. There's caregiver support groups, if you're a young caregiver or if you're a sandwich generation, for anybody who might need just a listening ear and some support from people in a similar situation as you. And there's just in general education programs as well, both in person and online, that caregivers can utilize, and they're free. Yeah, go ahead, Alana.
In my experience, utilizing these resources has been extremely helpful. Like I said, my mom was diagnosed at a younger age. Me being in my 20s, wasn't really seeing too many people in my shoes that had, a parent. Maybe it was a grandparent or something like that. But reaching out to the Alzheimer's Association, especially some of those support groups, or just finding a community like 48 Peaks where there are others that you can connect with, has been so helpful and supportive. And it's kind of helped give me a voice to talk to others that, I might have not had the chance to talk to because, I wasn't sure if there was anyone else I knew that was going through this. So can definitely say that those resources are really helpful for kind of taking the steps and being able to talk to folks.
That's incredible. Now, how about like the financial impact on families? I mean, how does this impact a family? Somebody who may have to stop working full time, or what exactly can you tell us about that?
Go ahead, Cindy.
Okay. Yeah, I got some quick facts and then Alana can expand on them. So
awesome.
In terms of impact, it's very significant. As you can probably imagine, our aging population continues to grow. So in 2023, I should say, not 2013, wrong year. Alzheimer's and other dementias were estimated to cost the nation $345 billion. And by 2050, that could rise to nearly $1 trillion. So it is very significant.
Yeah.
And in terms of people, more than 11 million Americans provide unpaid care. And in 2022, that was valued as almost $340 billion in terms of how much that unpaid care cost. So it is sometimes a thankless job, I'm sure. It is an unpaid role as well. And it has a huge, not only financial burden, but I'm sure emotional, potentially physical burden as well on yourself and your family as you're caring for your loved one. Yeah.
Right. Alana,
yeah,
any comments?
I would add that, at least from our experience, definitely, because the disease is so long in the progression, we've been caring for my mom for 10 years. It does have a strong financial impact, kind of those facts that Cindy shared about caregivers giving, setting aside time from their own work to do caregiving. A really important tip, if someone is kind of seeing these symptoms early on and feels like there needs to be action, is definitely engage with some financial planning, or there's definitely some folks that are specialized in kind of helping navigate the financial path, because on top of the burden of caregiving and the stress of caregiving, if you're adding a financial stress too, it can feel really overwhelming. And the Alzheimer's Association can definitely help with kind of, questions around that. I know they might have some support groups too, but really be proactive about that earlier rather than later, and kind of work with kind of financially planning so that you're not too stressed out later on.
What are your thoughts regarding keeping somebody home as long as possible versus like an institutional approach? I know, this is the hardest thing. I'm a physical therapist, and I work in a lot of memory care units, and you see the struggle that families go through and the difficulty when the realization happens that this is just not safe anymore, and I may have to change the position of my loved one so that they're in a safe environment. What's out there for data and information regarding how people do at home versus an institution? I know it's a tough question, but that may be an obvious question, but any insight as to that?
I can speak to that from our personal experience, that there is a lot of options and resources, and it comes down to what works best for each individual family. When it gets to a point where you feel like your loved one's safety or their ability to be cared for at home is kind of not able to be met, then sometimes moving them into a facility means that they get a better quality of life and they get care met by the needs of folks that are trained to do so. But it can be a really difficult decision. And for our family, we've kind of looked at what are some of the options that we're able to keep my mom at home as long as possible. And one of that is that my dad is retired and I work from home, and we are a team, and we, both work really hard to try and balance it. But not everyone can. Sometimes people are diagnosed with this much later on in life and might not have the physical strength. A lot of times I'm out there lifting up my mom or kind of getting down there on the floor and stuff like that. And so totally understand when, there's a lot of circumstances, and understanding that financial component that we talked about that kind of lead into why someone would seek care. But for us, some of the resources that we've used to be able to keep my mom at home is looking at adult daycare programs, looking at community resources, looking at different caregivers that can come into the home, and that there's different, services that can be provided to kind of offer the caregivers a little bit of respite care, and kind of give them a break, as well as kind of meet some of those needs of, if it's, it comes down to just giving them a little extra support and be able to keep someone at home. And so again, Alzheimer's Association has a lot of great resources. And if there's questions on kind of what some of these resources are to be able to keep a loved one at home a little bit longer, it's a great place to start.
Okay, yeah, that's great that you mentioned that. So adult daycare is a great option. Down in Mass, there's plenty of that. I remember when I was doing home care, sometimes I would go in and work with some of these individuals in those facilities, which is great. And then caregivers such as Visiting Angels or other organizations like that. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, there's a different assortment of home care. Some of it is private, depending on, financial, feasibility and stuff like that. There is some that might be qualified for by insurance, depending on what the physical needs are and what the, the daily activities that person either needs support with or can actually function with.
Okay. All righty. And I guess we should shift gears. Did I miss anything regarding some of the basics out there for Alzheimer's and the care that's involved before we move on to this great event?
We talk about treatment. I think we briefly mentioned it, but I didn't end up saying specifics about it. We are thankfully in the era of treatment. And I know we've said that on, I think, a past episode that I was on, but the last 2 years have had huge progress in the research and, drug discovery space. So we do have our first FDA and, more importantly, Medicare covered drug, Leqembi, and it does address the underlying causes of dementia, not just the symptoms. So this is for early stage patients, just to clarify, it's not for late stage, but if you catch the symptoms early, there is now an option for treatment. So hopefully it will, as I mentioned, it addresses the underlying causes of dementia. So it should, reduce the progression and maybe, as we were talking about, lengthen out how long you can keep someone at home before maybe having to move your loved one into assisted living or memory care, for example. So it's definitely very hopeful.
So that's been the last 2 years, roughly, that it's been available?
It might be a year. I forget the exact timing, but it has. It had the clinical trial results came out within the last 2 years, and then the approval happened.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Any long-term studies behind that, or? I
believe there's more in the early stages, but I don't know off the top of my head where they stand. But there's more coming, hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening fast in the medical field, and especially the genetics field as well. All right, well, that's good news. Did we talk about diet and exercise enough as well? Like, Alana, are you able to take your mom out and get her moving and just get the blood flowing and everything else? I mean, it's clearly important to have an active lifestyle. It gets trickier as we get older, but how's that been for you?
Yeah, I think active lifestyle and diet and exercise can be one of the biggest factors in making a difference in even preventing, but also when someone is diagnosed in those earlier stages can really make a difference in, promoting that they're able to kind of delay the progression of the disease. The stage that my mom's at now, and she's actually not as mobile as she was, but for a good amount of years, we would go out on daily walks and we would get, those exercise and that blood flowing, and we would really monitor kind of, how much, how many ice creams we were having per the week and kind of those, treat meals and stuff like that. And I do think that my mom, was started to show symptoms over 10 years ago, but it's really only been within the last 2 years that her mobility has declined. And so those years that we were, trying to go out and have exercise, my mom was an avid golfer, which was a great way of kind of, getting your muscles moving and moving around and stuff like that too. So definitely promote that. That's a really important strategy for anyone that's trying to prevent diagnosis, but also anyone that might have been diagnosed and wants to still live a really healthy and fruitful life.
Right. Cindy, any comments on that as well?
I was trying to say, just stay active. Really, it's just keeping your brain going, however whether it's exercise. I feel like, puzzles is probably also another good way. Like, I used to do Sudoku. I should do more Sudoku, and, whatever gets your brain working in different ways. I think, like Alana said, that's key to staying healthy. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's shift gears to the event coming up here. So, you guys have invited me to play some music, which is super cool. This would be my second year hosting a little bit for this, so I'm really honored to be a part of that. But let's start with the basic event itself. Where is it going to be, and how do you sign up, and all that other good news?
Yeah, so most of our hikers will be up in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. So the purpose of the event, it's 48 peaks. We're hiking the New Hampshire 4,000 footers, or 48 peaks, in the month of June, but at this point over the summer. Our main hiker celebration is on June 8th. That's when most of our teams will be hiking. And the primary goal is that we have one team on each of the 48 peaks so we can shine as much light as we can on Alzheimer's and dementia, raise awareness and fundraise to support further research efforts and more drug discoveries like Leqembi, like I mentioned, for treatment options. So in terms of how we began, we've been around since 2013. 48 Peaks was born out of the Alzheimer's Association's Longest Day fundraiser, which is a signature event over the summer. It's focused around the longest day of the year, the summer solstice. And there was a volunteer back in it's very clever. Back in 2013, his wife was living with younger onset, and he and his family wanted to honor her and raise funds in support of the Alzheimer's Association. So he picked hiking as his longest day event and started his fundraiser. And then with time, it gained traction, more people got involved, and 48 Peaks just became its own event in time. So since that time in 2013, we have raised over $887,000. So this year, hopefully, we want to get that $1 million mark over the lifespan of 48 Peaks. Yes. Thank you.
Wow. Now, how
big
about
milestone?
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. How about the peaks? Have you signed up teams for each of the peaks yet, or are there any missing or outstanding?
So as of last week, I believe Wildcat A was still available, but there was someone I spoke to who I think will be hiking it, in which case we have all 48 covered for the first round of them. Okay. But we expect there to be multiple teams on each peak. We just want at least one team per peak.
And I'm trying to remember which one is Wildcat A. Is that the one closer to Carter Hut or the one closer to Glen Boulder? I don't even remember. But
I don't know. I haven't done those yet. So.
Oh, man, you're in for a treat.
I've heard.
Butt kickers for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So $1 million. What do you think, listeners? You think you guys can make this happen or what?
Let's get there, right?
I hope the listeners have been supportive. Have you noticed any impact from the podcast or anything like that? We like to try to help out.
Oh, yeah, no, you guys have been huge. I did a poll at some point on Instagram for our 48 Peaks Instagram, and I just asked, how did you hear about us? And there were a good handful that heard about us through the podcast. And even someone commented on Facebook recently that they were so happy they heard about us through Slasher that we were like, oh, good, another person.
Oh, that's super cool. Wow. All right, great. Yeah. So we have the event coming up on the 8th, but you don't have to necessarily hike on the 8th. Is that right?
That's right. You can hike whatever works for you over the summer. My team historically has hiked in like July or August. This year, we're actually hiking the celebration weekend, which is huge. We're going to make it happen. But I forgot to mention. Go ahead. Oh,
no, I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. I forgot to mention you don't have to hike a 4K either. We have another option called Create Your Own. If you want to hike like a 52 with the view, like Mount Willard or Mount Pemmy, or you want to do something local like a Pondicherry hike or somewhere small like a Blue Hills, go for it. We've got that option too. So we can be inclusive and anyone who wants to hike can join us.
That's great. Pondicherry is beautiful. I love it out there.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Any fun stories you can tell us about of the event or just any of the hikes that stand out?
I've heard that one team made like a human pyramid on one of the peaks one year. That looked pretty cool. And another did like, a jumping photo with the whole crew.
That's cool. That's great. Yeah. You know what we'll have to do? Have you ever seen like a Black Hawk fly over or anything like that?
I did when my friend and I hiked Webster last year. I think it was a recovery mission, but I did see I heard and saw the Black Hawk, which was pretty interesting.
I'll drop a line to some of my friends in the Army National Guard, see if they can't do a flyover on the 8th.
Ooh, that would be neat. Yeah.
Gotta get everybody pumped up. No promises though. Those guys are pretty busy.
No. I think one other interesting story, it's not exactly fun per se. It was from the 2022 event when we had the celebration at Iron Furnace. Okay. And I was running the raffles table and a hiker came up to me and was chatting with me. And I asked how her hike was. And she said she had hiked, I believe, for her mom who had passed from Alzheimer's or dementia recently before then. And she had actually scattered her mom's ashes at the top of the mountain that she had hiked as like, you know, a nice way to remember her and honor her. So it's not a fun story per se. It was very touched my heart in a certain way that reminded me why we do this.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think each year seeing the photos that come through, or people holding up a banner saying who they're hiking for, or just kind of like the shared camaraderie and seeing all the purple t-shirts as we are walking up and maybe another team is coming down and you pass them, or someone stops you and says, oh, what is the purple shirt? What are you hiking for? And you can kind of chat about that. I think those have been like really great experiences and really memorable, and something that I look forward to each year and really enjoy.
Did that happen on Pierce, Alana? When we did Pierce? I feel like someone recognized us from the podcast and like got super excited.
The last 2 years, the hikes I've done have been stopped, or we've seen another purple shirt team, or build a small community.
Yeah, no question about it. We'll have to have you on after the fact to give us the rundown on how it went, how many people attended, if you broke the 1 million mark, and everything else. But I do have one final question. Is there any way people can harden their homes or do preventative measures for loved ones that may just inadvertently walk out of the house and become lost? Because we see that a lot up here in New Hampshire with fishing game, trying to find people, and search and rescue teams having to go out to assist in those things. Are there any things that come to mind or could be helpful for families?
Alana, you might be able to comment on this too. I asked Megan, our event manager, about this, if there were any resources from the Alzheimer's Association about like how to address this.
It's tricky.
The number one, it is tricky, and it depends on your, case by case, your family situation and, home setup even. Right. The number one resource she suggested was the helpline, the 24/7 phone line to call and ask someone for advice on your specific situation and what might be best. Mm-hmm. There's care consultations offered by the Alzheimer's Association that are virtual, similar idea. Good. And then there's some online communities where you can ask other people in similar situations, like, what would you do?
Yeah, so it's too broad of a question. That sounds
like it's helpful. Yeah. I think it's very specific to your case.
Got it. That makes sense.
You can also notify, I'm not sure how it's structured up in New Hampshire, but you can also notify local law enforcement and just have, a loved one's name and maybe a picture kind of registered with them. Just so it's kind of, an incident should happen. It maybe not be a situation where the someone wanders away, but maybe there's an incident because, someone's getting aggravated and aggressive, and the, first responders have to show up at that house having some sort of kind of knowledge that that person has dementia or has Alzheimer's really is important in how they're responded. And I know that there's more training for those EMTs and first responders in responding to someone that has Alzheimer's and dementia, and kind of making sure that the situation is handled and everyone is safe and calm and responsive. And so we did that with my mom, and other kind of things that we did is there's different resources you might be able to find on Alzheimer's team, but we had a little air tag that we put in her little pocket or her wallet, kind of a little GPS tracker. That I know they sell necklaces that are similar, that are kind of designed for Alzheimer's. And so there's different ways of kind of, if it's something that the loved one would wear and be okay with, there's different ways of kind of putting that protection in. In our house, there's also different locks that you can get on doors, and kind of depending on someone's knowledge or kind of their level, we installed some locks that felt like they were safe to keep her in our home. Other kind of ADL things that we have around our home are different, like grab bars in case she might fall, kind of getting in and out of the shower or something. You had kind of baby gates to kind of corral, and different, support, functionality items around the house. And those have all kind of really helped. And as she's kind of progressed and developed, keeping her safe at home, but also, should she, wander outside the home, we have kind of a couple preventative measures to kind of get in place before there's any
that's
incident.
Super helpful.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, from the first responder side, Megan made me aware of there's some upcoming first responder trainings. I believe they're offered by the Alzheimer's Association virtually. I'm sure she can send more info over for the show notes, but They're coming up June 4th and June 26th over the summer. So that first responders, if they want some training on how to approach a situation or a report where there's an Alzheimer's patient who has wandered or roamed, how to approach that situation the best they can.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Can we have all the contact information, helpline numbers, websites, all that good stuff?
Oh, yeah, all the good stuff. So the National Alzheimer's website is alz.org. You can find all the resources there that we've mentioned. The helpline is 1-800-272-3900. It's 24/7. And for 48 Peaks, our website is alz.org/48 Peaks. You can find us on Instagram, which is 48 Peaks ALZ, and we're also on Facebook. So you can find us there. And one thing I forgot to mention is we do have a sponsorship program. So if you know a company or people who might want to sponsor a peak, reach out to our event manager, Megan O'Neill, and she can talk to you about what offerings we have. I think Excellent. I got everything. Did I miss anything, Alana?
No, I think you got it all. Definitely a shout out for our social media. If you don't follow it, it shares a lot of tips and resources, but also shares a lot of fun about some of the events that are happening and how you can get involved if you're interested.
Yeah. We also have a volunteer info session next week, and it's on social if you're interested in volunteering with 48 Peaks in some way. Okay, I'll be presenting with Megan, so you can get to hear from me again.
Well, we'll keep on plugging the event and spreading the word. And I thank both of you for coming on, Cindy and Alana. I wish you the best. And you two are great representatives of the organization for sure. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Stomp. We appreciate your and Mike's support over the last 2 years. It's been 2 years since we were first on.
Mike who?
Crazy.
Mike who?
Mike who? I don't know.
I'm getting used to just being
Can
a
we
single
give Dave
host.
the hike of the week? Do we give Dave the hike of the week because he's not here?
Actually, we did that. You're going to laugh your head off. It's so silly.
Oh, good.
All right. So there it is. So 48 Peaks coming up soon. You can check out that information. All the information will be in the show notes at slasherpodcast.com. And again, it's alts.org or alts.org/48 Peaks. So this week, guys, I have a couple search and rescues here. This wasn't much. There's like literally been nothing up here.
That's good. Quiet.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I think the last one I was on was Welch Dickey. That was it. Oh, what was it?
Welch Dickey?
No, wait a minute. There was one after that.
Oh, you've been on a bunch.
Yeah.
The first one here is California hiker. You've probably seen this video, but hiker speaks out after being rescued from California cliff. Have you seen the video of this one at all?
I haven't.
All right, well, check it out. A hiker who was stranded on the side of a cliff in San Francisco Bay Area is speaking out, telling his account. And he says, quote unquote, with the beer crack, it's all good.
I'm going to do my own beer. I've been waiting to do the beer segment. And I'm like, you know what? We're in the home stretch right now. And I'm a notable hiker. I do what I want.
Yes, you're open.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. Open invite. Anytime. You can just barge in and jump on a mic. So yeah, check this out. So I decided to climb the cliff, be brave, be adventurous. And so I started climbing, and about 40, 50 feet up, I got to a spot where all the rocks started crumbling. And like every rock that I grabbed just gets removed from the cliff. Cretini's girlfriend rushed to get help as the 22-year-old man became trapped, dangling more than 50 feet above the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore. So there's an actual video to it, and they dropped a couple search and rescue members out of a helicopter, and they got a harness on him and saved his butt. But he said that he could barely hold on, and he was about to let go. But thankfully, they got the harness and got them out to safety. So these are the two rescue guys here.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And when they got to him, they were just yelling at him, "Do not let go. Do not let go." Yeah. Unbelievable. So another cliff fall here. So Bryce Canyon hiker dies after falling at Utah Park. The husband of Florida. Oh, this is bizarre. It's a politician. So the husband of Florida's Senate president died after falling while the couple was hiking in Utah.
Yeah. Oh, anytime someone dies in his politics, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We know
just
where that
before
goes.
that red dot was on her forehead.
Yeah. Okay.
So John Pasadomo, 72, was, past tense, a lawyer and former city councilor and vice mayor of Naples. He and Senate President Kathleen Pasadomo, a Republican, were visiting national parks on vacation less than a month after the Florida blah, 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 blah. They went to Utah and, oh my God, it's getting into like there. Oh, here we go. Here's the details. So they were celebrating their 45th anniversary hiking in Bryce Canyon National Park when John fell Monday and suffered a head injury, amongst other injuries, and ultimately passed. So
that's sad.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah, that's it doesn't really give much more for detail there, but if you could look at this picture, I mean, that's pretty stunning.
That's beautiful. I've been to Zion Canyon and Grand Canyon and stuff.
Have you? Yeah, I've seen
Zion was beautiful.
That's where I went on my honeymoon.
You went to Bryce?
Bryce, Zion.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
is
wow.
Bryce near Zion?
It's fairly close.
That's what I thought. Cause
it's like New Mexico. Everything's near each other if you can drive 4 hours,
right.
5 hours.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous area. It's absolutely stunning.
We did.
That was
we didn't do Bryce. It was just this, Zion. But I heard it was
similar.
Similar?
Yeah.
Because the Grand Canyon was huge.
We had horses, I think, in Bryce, which was a
really?
terrible idea.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. For me, it was,
For how long?
You went down on horse?
I didn't. See, that's how rumors start. I did not. Let's just be clear about that. Okay?
No. That's we got to be clear. My mind wanders. You don't want my mind.
He wanted to, and I said nay.
Oh, no. I love this guy.
So no, we did it for our honeymoon back in the late '90s. Let's go way back. But yeah. So and we rented, and it was just hell. It was like, give me an ATV or something with a horse. Like, that thing just craps and goes where it's want. Like, what are we doing?
That's what you see in the Grand Canyon. You see turds all over the ground. But I didn't see any donkey. Well, jackasses. That's supposedly.
Yeah, and they climb up when they go up. We were coming down. We were doing a little bit, not all the way down, and like their legs will slide off. Like one, they have 4. Luckily,
really?
But the literally just the the ass end. The leg will go off, and you're just like, what? And they just keep going. I'm
that's a horse. And fun fact, they use jackasses for the Grand Canyon because it's the most sure-footed animal on the planet. That's why they don't use horses.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That and rams are tough to ride. The goats, the big bone goats, they're a bitch to get
on. Oh, man. This is good.
No, we checked out Antelope Canyon. That was cool. You ever see that?
No, I don't know what that is.
The underground canyon.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, we did that years ago, and then we did Horseshoe Bend. That was pretty.
Okay.
We had to run down there before the sunset. 6 million people. I mean, even Zion was packed. I bet you when you went, it wasn't as busy.
It wasn't.
Now you wouldn't. You can't even breathe in it.
It was insane. We think about it now. It's like you have to register to go there.
Yeah,
it's we kind of had the run of the place to some degree.
Yeah, you're not going to have a run of any park now. National park. No, it's slammed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but still beautiful. It felt more personable at Zion because it was obviously small in the Grand Canyon, but just to see the Grand Canyon was amazing. But we did hike into it a little bit, but I still want to go back and do rim to rim.
It depends on the rim you're on because what is it? I got to get this right. The North Rim, I think, is the one that's not as populated. It can be, but that's where you have the skunk wipes.
That's true. The skunk wipes
they come in handy when you're in the
especially
canyon,
when you're hiking 20-something miles in that heat.
Yeah, just for the rim,
right?
Because
the rim,
going rim to rim. Anyhow,
but no, it's
I don't know. I don't understand. No, he's laughing. I don't understand. I'm very uncomfortable. But no, for real, it's
again. Do you want to go on the couch and we can talk about this? For the viewers that can't see this, it literally looks like a psychiatrist.
Yeah, no, it's got Freud written all over it.
On it though. Did I tell you Lynn came over last night and she actually freaking macrameed, or what do you want to? Oh, I wish she was here.
A quilt?
She made me a little blanket to hang out in while I'm watching TV. I call it Little Lynn. She did. She crocheted me a blanket.
Wow. So you got to throw that in the back window of the car.
Did she ever come here with
let me tell you about my grandchildren right in the front. Throw a box of tissues in the back and just leave your directional on.
They always have tissues.
Always. But never in
Remember
reach.
that?
Never in reach.
No.
Unless they're French, like my grandmother. They always had them in their sleeve.
It was that granny Afghan and tissues and little hard candies.
Oh, the candies.
Oh, we got to have the candies.
We used to gamble for the candies. We play cards for the candies.
Oh, my God.
That is some funny stuff.
No, does Lynn come here with treats and tributes and all these things? And stickers? That's what, I love her. Every time she comes over, she's got little things and treats and little ornaments and stickers, and she's always giving stuff
She's
away.
a walking geocache.
Oh, she is freaking phenomenal. You don't get a better human than that.
No, she's awesome. Yeah, she's been here a couple times.
Yeah, just a few,
Right.
Yeah,
but she doesn't have a quilt like that.
No, but I have a granny Afghan now that I can put over my legs when I'm watching them.
Just so you know, Mike, I mean, that quilt right there, my grandmother did make that.
No, I know. That's called a granny Afghan.
Isn't that wild?
You can't find them better than that.
No, you can't. That's old.
That is so
probably
old.
Older than me. No
I was just a wee little guy.
And you know what's amazing is the design is what my mother has. That they all made the same shit back then.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
man.
Same colors. But the beauty of that is your toes don't go through the holes.
Right.
Because the ones like when they're learning at first, your toes stick through it. And it's like it's like you feel like a mackerel when they're out at sea.
It is professional. Yeah, the cats love it. That's why it's out. The cat's just like, oh man, they love it. Absolutely.
No, but I mean, that thing right there probably took a week to make. Who knows? That's tight knitting. Yeah.
That's at least 6 Prices Rights.
Remember that?
Oh God,
you're the next contestant on the Price is Right.
They would
Come on down.
My grandmother would knit and just watch.
That was awesome.
The shows.
TV was so. Remember,
sweared French.
We all the same age. We grew up on Sanford and Son and The Price is Right.
Oh, yeah,
remember the Gong Show? Remember the unknown comic? Remember that guy with the bag over his head? That's how I feel about. Yeah, he was cool, man.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares.
We grew up with the best
Hollywood
stuff.
Squares. What was the guy that controlled that dummy, the ventriloquist? Do you remember? There was Madam.
Madam was one. I forget his name.
Yeah. Do you remember that? She was always
funny.
on there.
That guy wasn't funny. She was funny.
Yeah, that was a funny show, man.
See, I'm so old. You had to buy stuff on Wheel of Fortune.
Really?
You had to get money and then shop after you won around. You don't remember that?
No. Wait. Wait a minute.
I'm not. No, see, we're not going to get into
come
that.
on, man. I may look young, but I'm an old man.
I'm not as old as I look. I just did some hard living. Wheel of Fortune used to live. You would get the money, and then they would take you on the street. Like, I'll take a roll of certs for $70 because it was California.
Yeah.
And then they would go through, and then you had to spend the money you bought.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. But if you go back in the 60s, 70s, well, I was born in the 70s. You go back and say, all right, so I am older than you. But if you go back in the 70s, you look at some of the gifts.
It was a trap.
Some of the gifts years ago, it was, yeah. But I mean, it was, you know what I mean? Like the old Chevette. They give a car away. It was a Chevette.
It's a Pinto.
Of course.
Nobody listened to this podcast. But what the hell's a Chevette?
Right.
Nobody's going to know.
This is the search
Pinto?
and rescue section too. Like, search and rescue.
Well, Pintos. People needed to get out of Pintos. That way we could bring it back to
Pintos.
See, don't go
they would blow up.
Yeah, right.
Blow up if they were hitting the back. Yeah.
No, life was good back
then. We had
then.
station wagons with seats that face backwards.
We had
no seatbelts.
What did my mother have?
Metal child seats. Metal baby seats.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And we turned out completely fine.
Yeah, we didn't wear helmets. You know, we flipped over the handlebars, busted your face up.
Yeah.
Your mother'd be like, take an ass. That's what my mother did.
You go outside
Band-Aid, you're all
and
set.
be gone all day long.
Yeah.
Come back at dinner or
Remember,
whatever.
put your play clothes on and get outside. Now they come home and just get in the video game room. We didn't have Atari, though.
We made mosquitoes sick.
Yeah.
They didn't make us sick.
Wash my hands, take a shower. Never.
16 gallons of Kool-Aid.
I've been sick in like 10 years.
Go ahead, take my blood. Now you're a diabetic mosquito. Go ahead, go fly up into the tree, dummy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, it was different times. You drink so much, you crab green for 3 days. Like, oh, my God, Mom, I'm dying.
Yeah.
What happened, huh?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a whole different world right now.
It is. It's changed.
Wow.
It's scary.
I don't even want to talk about search and rescue anymore. This is too funny. All right. Well, the last one here, you got.
Yeah, if you could try to stay on topic, Stomp, that'd be great.
Yeah. Come on, dude, don't let us ruin this.
Here's the last one, I guess. So, hiker found dehydrated and under the influence, rescued after falling into a ravine.
Wow.
Seems ironic.
Palm Springs Canyon Drive. So this is California.
Yeah.
And this is pretty generic. I mean, literally, that's the story. But the reason I bring it up is because there's one comment right there. I pulled this up a week ago. In this comment, you can see it. Somebody named Concerned wrote, "Drunk hiking." That's it.
That's it.
That's the only comment.
That's all you come up with.
I don't think that's his real name.
Yeah.
Concerned.
No, probably not think so.
Doesn't seem too concerned.
No, you only should do that. You should only do that in a kayak and snow. You should not hike. That's PSA from a notable hiker right here. You definitely don't want to hike drunk. It's a bad thing.
No, what I used to do before hiking, see the Cicadas, ATV and drink. That's fun.
Ooh, yeah.
Because you can't get a DUI. You're in the woods. Who's going to bust you in the woods?
Outsmarting them at every turn, aren't you?
Yeah.
You showed them.
We ran from the EPA one time. It was like 10, me, my brothers, a bunch of people. I had my wife at the time. She was, before I married her, she was, speaking of Russian, she was a Russian from Belarus. She was illegal, so we couldn't get stopped. We would have got screwed. But we came up over an embankment. We crossed 495. Cops, it was like midnight. We were all hammered. I used to have a cooler for food. Then I had a cooler for my whiskey, my ice, and my own little glass. So we used to get hammered out in the woods. And they'd ride all night. We had trails everywhere, but the little EPA cops were trying to find us. And as soon as we came up over the highway, they're trying to grab us. We're trying to get away from. We got away. That's before hiking years ago. Back in my hellion days.
Yeah. Now you're clean and sober, right?
Good one.
Yeah.
I drank a little, not much.
A little bit. Yeah.
I'm not a big
drinker.
all good.
Moderation.
It's all about balance.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this has been fun. So that's all I got for you guys. Dave, congratulations on your stunning victory tonight for the notable hike.
Awesome.
Wow, the sky should be lit up and glowing.
That's huge.
It's big. It's big.
That's a big
I didn't see that one coming, but
I'm going to sell all my stuff now. I'm done. That's it. I don't have to Photoshop any more hikes or anything.
That's an idea. I could just sit home.
Just steal stuff.
Yeah, I like that idea.
It takes forever to take the stock photo images off. Get that cleaned off. I mean, man.
That is so good.
My imaginary friend Liz Faye. Just kidding, Liz. Liz is a beast. She's a phenomenal hiker. Great hiking partner.
I don't think I know Liz.
Liz is great.
No.
All right, man. And Eric, thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
You guys are great. We'll definitely do this again for sure.
I don't think you'll be allowed, but I'm just saying.
Well,
Pirate radio is the best.
Yeah. So that'll do it for episode 147. Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the show, you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to learn more about the topics covered in today's show, please check out the show notes and safety information at slasherpodcast.com. That's SLASR podcast.com. You can also follow the show on Facebook and Instagram. We hope you'll join us next week for another great show. Until then, on behalf of Mike and Stomp, get out there and crush some mega peaks.
Now covered in scratches, blisters, and bug bites, Chris Staff wanted to complete his most challenging day hike ever.
Fish and Game officers say the hiker from Florida activated an emergency beacon yesterday morning. He was hiking along the Appalachian Trail when the weather started to get worse. Officials say the snow was piled up to 3 feet in some spots, and there was a wind chill of -1 degree.
And there's 3 words to describe this race. Do we all know what they are? Only one hill!
Lieutenant James Nealon, New Hampshire Fish and Game. Lieutenant, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
What are some of the most common mistakes you see people make when they're heading out on the trails to hike here in New Hampshire?
It seems to me the most common is being unprepared. I think if they just simply visited hikesafe.com and got a list of the 10 essential items and had those in their packs, they probably would have no need to ever call us at all.